Welcome to the only source you need for topics and toy news. This is Gen Z Report. Joining us live, the ultimate Marvel Legends and comic collector. He's got the power of youth. He's got the stories. It's Ashwan. Next up, the master of SH figure arts. His collection is legendary, his knowledge unrivaled. Say hello to Zion. And leading the charge, the one and only, the fearless McFarlane apologist and the agent who never sleeps. It's Agent Zman. The Gen Z Report. Your weekly dose of awesome starts now.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Gen Z Report, your weekly show for toy topics and anything else. So, of course, I am your host, Agent Z-Man, and with me, we have our lovely co-hosts. First off, we have Ashwan. Ashwan, I think you're mute. Let me just... Okay, how about that? Okay. Ashwan, you're still mute. Zion?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, of course, my other co-host is Zion.
Well, now I can't hear you.
Oh. Now. Can you hear me now?
No,
How about now?
still not.
Oh, what is going on? Let's see.
Hello?
Okay. I can
I
hear
can
you.
Ashwan.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay. One sec. I don't know what's happening. Let me just... Am I back?
yep.
I can't.
Okay.
I'll come back.
Okay. Always something. It could be Justin's, Wi-Fi issues. Who knows? His curse. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't curse us. But okay, there we go. Let's.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Well, welcome to the Gen Z Report. My two lovely co-hosts, Ashwan and Zion. There we go. Let's just check the chat and say hello. We have Kiana Leaves very early saying, "What's poppin', young bloods?" What's up? So yeah. Obviously, today's topic is about our top 3 favorite games. But before we get into that, we always do our pickups. So I'll move to Zion for the pickups. What did you have? Pickups.
Finally, I have one after a month, and it is the Super Saiyan Goku, or I call him Kakarot, just like how Vegeta calls him, from the Cell games.
Nice. I think I got that. Wait, yeah, I think I've got that. How does it feel for you? And do you have any of the other Super Saiyan Gokus?
No, this is my first Super Saiyan figure, and the new Vegeta just came out. I think it was today in Japan. So I really want to get that, and then they already have Gohan and Trunks out, so I need them to recreate those scenes. Yeah, and then also, do you have the same one that I have, the newer one?
Yeah. So I think I got the same one.
Yeah. For the Windswept hair, did yours have that QC issue where the faceplates can't go all the way in?
Ooh, I actually haven't tried. Oh my god, that is.
Yeah, because I tried mine, and mine had that issue, so I just keep it on the normal one, because my normal hair Now the normal hair doesn't have that issue. It's just the other head sculpt.
Right. Oh gosh. Now that's making me nervous for mine. And it's been way past the time I got that order in, so I can't get a replacement for that. But you know what? This head with the hair, still good.
Yeah, it's good enough. Plus, this is how I'm gonna have it on display.
Nice. And did you get anything else apart from the Super Saiyan Goku?
No, but next week hopefully I will.
Ah,
because I have a trip that I'm going on Wednesday.
nice. Teasing for next week. Stay tuned for next week. We'll see what Zion's got. But thank you for the pickups. Now, Ashwan, you're the king of pickups of comics. What have you got for us this week? Damn. Oh, I think Ashwan, you're mute. Wait, let's try again. Oh. Can't hear you. Oof. What's going on? Zion, can you hear me or is it?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Ooh. Maybe I'll go while Ashwan, you sort. I think maybe there's some kind of issue with the audio. Oh, let's see. Okay. Let's test. Oh, still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. I blame the StreamYards for causing the issue. I don't know what's going on.
Goldberg.
Shall I do pickups while you sort your mic thing situation? Yeah, I'll go first and then. Okay, cool. Well, go second. So, for me, it was quite a big week for pickups. First off, I finally caved and got the.
Have you gone mute?
I'm on mute. How about now? How about now?
Yeah, you're still mute.
Oh, what the? Okay. How about now?
No, I still can't hear you.
What about now? Like it shows for me that I can talk. Okay. Hold up. I'll check. Let me get Ashwan in. Ashwan?
Hello?
Testing. I can hear you.
Hello,
Okay.
hello?
You go.
Okay, cool.
Okay. You go for it. I'll sort my stuff.
Right. So I got a figure. I got Nick Fury from Secret Invasion. So pretty cool one. And then going on to comics, I've got a pretty big stack this week. So pretty good. I've got Wolverine issue 19. I've got Sentry issue 2. I've got the Infernal Hulk issue 6. I've got the Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Verse issue 1. So cool little another story to add on to Amazing Spider-Man, and Norman basically is training all the young Spider-Men and all the other like Spider people in case Green Goblin's about again. I'm pretty sure. Like pretty cool. And then Amazing Spider-Man issue 27 or part 9 of the Death Spiral. And then I've also got the colour block variant. Wade Wilson, Deadpool issue 3. Pretty cool cover. Excited for this. Read issue 1 and 2, thought it was very good. Issue 3, gonna be hopefully way better. So, yeah. Rogue issue 4. Haven't started it yet, but very excited too. I think definitely within the next couple of days, I've been slacking on reading a bit. I know I say it all the time, but I've been slacking a bit, and I will definitely put my foot down and read. But Mark Spector Moon Knight 3, another one where issue 1 and 2 are great. Can't wait to read issue 3. Mark Spector Moon Knight and his colour block variant, so cool white Moon Knight colour block. So pretty cool cover. Then last cover for this week, and then of course if you want to see next week's, then tune into my YouTube video or Gen Z report, is Cyclops issue 3. So yeah, cool, pretty decent stack for this week. So yeah, and let me quickly just see if there's anyone in the chat, because I can't see the chat. Have a look. No one in there just yet, but I was watching at home. Tune in to see sick content. See our top 3 games.
Great pickups. You can all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Sweet.
Yeah. After some crazy, I don't know, mutism or weird technical difficulties, we're all back. But awesome pickups, both Zion and Ashwan. Now let me show the chaos that I brought in. Start off with the week. I finally ordered and received my SH Figure Arts Jonathan Joestar. So this is from JoJo. Pretty sick figure because obviously he's from part 1. If you don't know JoJo, he's basically a kind of copy of Kenshiro from Fist of North Star. And if you don't know that, just a muscle guy with martial arts. That's the best explanation I can give you. But yeah, great figure. It poses well, so I think I'm looking forward to doing actual shots with him. So yeah, that was the first one. Then the second, which was actually a pickup while I was out, I finally caved in and got Morph from X-Men 97. Pretty happy with this, honestly. Great figure. Looking forward to adding him to my 97 display, which is slowly going to become a reality. Because so far I've not bothered to put them all together, but we'll do now. Then it went a bit crazy on the online orders. I saw that Kapow, shout out Kapow, had a few figures come in stock. So I ordered Bulletproof from Cops and Crooks. So this is based off, these figures are based off the toys, the original toys, but I remember the cartoon. Not nostalgic to it, but I saw the figure. It's done by the same people who did so it's Big Bad Workshop, aka Fresh Monkey Fiction. So yeah, this is the first in the line. You can see here, coming soon, Long Arm and Dr. Bad Vibes. Bad Vibes. That's what's happening with the audio. It's Dr. Bad Vibes. So yeah, then that was that, and I thought, the week is going good. It's not going to it's not going to go crazy. But then my orders for the Jada Jada Toys, Street Fighter, Balrog, and E Honda showed up together, which was a bit crazy, but love that. Looking forward to finishing this line, and I'm hoping to see what the what you call it, the Alpha 3 figures from Jada will go through. But yeah, awesome. And then last but not least, because you think that was crazy, shout out to Robert Thompson. He was talking about these figures from, again, Fresh Monkey Fiction. I managed to get them as Kapow had them put on stock. And it is the Soldiers of Fortune figures. So we got the Agent. That's why. I mean, it's on theme. The Agent. Then we have the Agent again, but the Enemy. So, just the blue suited guy. And it comes with a hooded head, but I will be giving that to Dan Hu. So there you go. And last but not least, the last figure, I swear. The Soldiers of Fortune Close Combat Operative. I know the lights show it's like, what is it, red or blue? It's a black suited kind of like tactical dude. But so far, because of the lights, it looks like he's either purple or he's blue and red. But there you go. That was it for pickups. Now, after pickups, we're going to go straight into the toy news. So let's get through it. Well, that's all the toy news. This is. Bye-bye. Now, first up, we have Mayfix have decided to do another version of Homelander and Butcher. So this is the finale version of Homelander from, I think, maybe season 3 or season 2, when Billy Butcher gets temp fee. So we can see here, like, to be fair, this is not the first time Mayfix has done Billy Butcher and Homelander. I think, according to my research, Homelander has been done 4 times. So, and Billy Butcher maybe like twice. So as you can see, we've got the heat effect for Billy Butcher, cloth goods coat. The face sculpts, not looking very much Carl Urban, very cartoony. I mean, especially the laser eyes. I mean, hooey, that doesn't look good. But it doesn't. And then obviously you can take off the coat. He's got like the temp fee that's for that season only. It's got some alcohol and glass, it's Billy Butcher. Comes with some guns, crowbar, pistol, sniper. Comes with the laser eyes, 2 temp fees, a glass empty and a glass half empty, half full, and some watches. Then we have Homelander, which, again, the faces aren't facing with this one. He doesn't look like Anthony Starr. He looks more like a cartoon version of him, even though this is not meant to be that. He comes with the same kind of like laser effects, but red, of course. So we've got that. Here are the faces.
Oh my, that one face.
Yes. And I think that the closed-eyed face goes with one of the accessories, the milk. If you know, you know. Oof. And he's got apparently cake. Not that cake, but actual cake. So yeah, and he's also got the temp V, peace signs. Oh look, there you go, home sweet home. So if you wanted cake or milk, especially baby's milk, there you go. So are you two going to be picking these up, or is this a complete miss?
For now, it's a miss because currently I've never seen the boys. I'm interested in I'm interested to watch it because I'm a big superhero guy, and I've heard that this is more like a what if superheroes actually like existed in the real world, what will happen and how would that be like?
Mm.
And I'm a big fan of Invincible, and I know that there's like a bunch of um things about Omni Man and Homelander and that whole like debacle.
Mm.
So for now, I'm pass on them. And even when I do get into the boys, it seems like there's more like better options for like those Mayface figures that already been like released for these two.
Right. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. The other releases are probably better, and I think maybe might be cheaper now because of this one, or who knows, it might get more expensive. You never know with Mayfex. It's a hit or miss kind of situation. But Ashwan, what about you? Will you be picking these up, or are you like Zion? It's a pass.
Like I probably won't. Just not because the head sculpts do look a bit funny on both of them, but like I think the main thing for me is the price of how pricey Mayfix is.
Mm,
That's more so why for me rather than anything else. It's just because Mayfix is a bit more pricier. Like currently, I haven't really been buying figures like at the moment in general, and so like I'm not gonna spend over 60 quid on a Mayfix that somewhat looks like Homelander. So
mm.
yeah,
That's fair enough. I mean, from these prices, it's the figures will be priced at around about $88. So for us, it's probably like probably similar, like 70-ish. I don't know the conversion, and these are released will be released February 2027. So I mean, it's not even like if you like. It feels like a weird reuse sort of situation or re-release kind of like. Although the faces are all new, they're not much of an upgrade. So yeah, same here for me. It's a pass, complete pass. Now, as we move from Mafex's reuse, we move on to Dragon Ball Z. Now, there's only one reuse here, which is the Super Saiyan Son Goku reissue, which, to be fair, I think that's an okay reissue, as that figure was very hard to find, and there was that whole debacle with um
Manga
the
exclusive.
the manga exclusive one, which everyone was pissed off the fact that that didn't really have a good release. So I think if you're still looking for this version of Super Saiyan Goku, which I am, I'll be picking this up. Um, but more importantly, we're finally getting a new version of Final Form Frieza. Now, there was the original one that came out, but I think that's been a bit outdated. And like compared to this one, this has got more musculature. And, I think this is the most definite win out of like a new release. And I think this would be great with the other kind of like figures that they've done so far for the whole Frieza saga. So, of course, comes with 4 heads. Yeah, that's 4 heads, multiple hand accessories, plus the damage part of the tail. So you can actually have that look from when he comes back. If you know that moment, you know. And yeah, this is such a great looking figure. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna let Ashwan go first because I'm gonna like yap about all of this.
Yeah. Ashwa, what are your thoughts?
personally, I haven't like sat down and watched all of Dragon Ball Z before. I've watched like maybe like an episode here and then and like seen clips, but I haven't like fully sat down. But from seeing enough, I very much like Frieza's character design
Mm,
and like just this suit in general. And so like if I was to get a figure, then I maybe would get this. But it for me, it more so just depends on the price point and if it's like one of the higher end figure arts or like a cheaper one. But I'm assuming it will be one of the more expensive ones. But
mm.
if I happen to have the money at the time it coming out and I remember that it's coming out, I can't see why I wouldn't get it.
Mm. Okay, fair enough. I mean, let me see if there's any price sort of situation for these. Although these might just be pre. Yeah, no, they're just the pre-orders will be open on the 28th. So we'll see next week what those prices will be, and we'll do an update on that next week. So stay tuned. But Zion, what are your thoughts on this
Or
freeze?
the Lord Frieza himself. So Frieza is my favorite Dragon Ball Z villain. It was always a toss up between him and Perfect Cell. I'm like, which one? But then after watching it, I chose Frieza as like my favorite, and I've been wanting to get the Frieza that's already out, the fourth one. But then seeing this one, not just is it like an upgrade with like upgraded articulation and like the upgraded just like new tooling, but this also had looks in the art style of how he looked in the Namek Frieza saga, while the one that's already released is more like akin to like Dragon Ball Super.
Right.
And I like how with more like recent Dragon Ball releases, they've been like making the aesthetic of the figure look more like the art style of when they appeared in the anime. Like Saiyan and Frieza Saga kind of has like that more like angular pointy anime style than like Cell and Buu Saga do. That I've noticed. So I kind of like how they went like all out with the aesthetic, the articulation, and the accessories, even giving him his cut off tail that they put in, and for the price it should be 37 because that's how much the last one was. And usually for like characters like this, they keep the price like consistent unless it's like a Bandai or premium exclusive.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then with Frieza, I'm gonna get this one, and I'm still trying to get the first form Frieza.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, with Frieza, he's got multiple forms. So are you going to do
Yeah.
that whole kind of like scaling of forms, or would you be
Yeah.
just getting like first one and then final?
For my Dragon Ball stuff, I'm gonna have like the Z fighters and like versus the villains.
Right.
And like the villains, I'm gonna have like all like the main villains. But for the main villains, I'm only gonna have like my favorite like forms of them, or like which forms like important. So like for Frieza, I'm gonna get the final form, obviously, and I want the first form to go along with Zarbon and Dodoria.
Yes.
This, yeah, because like those two forms, his first form and his fourth form are like the most like main common ones. Because like the second and third forms are only there for like a few episodes each. And his metal form, his mecha form was just there for like 2 episodes just to get one shotted by Trunks.
Oh yeah. So that's very much like that was a short-lived. I mean, give or take that pun. Moment for Frieza. So yeah.
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 Plus, I really liked his two henchmen, Zarbon and Dodoria. Like, and I like want them, but they never appeared with any other version with Frieza. Plus, his first form is like he goes back to that form like in Dragon Ball Super. So it's like his first form and his like fourth form are like the two forms that's like his most popular and what he's been in the most, and that you can have like versus like a display with like different and creating scenes.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I know what you mean. Like the first form is even like I remember like when he first appears, he's so intimidating, and like in that form, he was responsible for the kind of like destruction of planet Vegeta. So like you gotta have that form, especially with his little space crib, that he's
His
in.
little pod.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, ew, hello,
hello, monkeys.
Did you buy his pod thing?
I think it does come with that.
In that first one, it comes with like everything in it. The whole the pod, the little like finger beam. You can detach the torso from like the pod to go on some separate legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good
so
release.
get that with the pod, and also him kind of like with the Dragon Ball, because I think most of those releases came with a Dragon Ball. Let me see if I can find. Okay, it's out of stock with Kapow. Come on, one of the websites. Please be in stock. Well, actually, there you go. Amazon have it for 72. It's a bit pricey, but there you go if you want that, Ashwan. But there you go. So yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I think I'm gonna pick up both of these. I think not at the same time. I'm not gonna do what I did with Street Fighters and pre-order both of them and then they both come at the same time. I mean, it's good. Can't complain. More action figures is good, but spaced it out situation. And I wonder, does this figure come with this rock? It doesn't show it in the accessory
No.
logo. Damn it.
Usually Bandai and Smash Nation will do is like for like effects like this, they would just like show it in and then make the figures look cooler. No pun intended.
I see what you did.
if you know, you know.
I mean,
like, yeah.
You're dropping the facts, and Kiara Leaves totally agrees. I love it. Zion knows what's up. Yeah, I mean, come on, he is the king of anime. Oh, I'm. That's a big. That's too much of a title to bring to give to Zion, but it's probably true. Probably true. But as we move on from this anime of Dragon Ball Z, we move on, and I think Ashwan was teasing it. We move on to One Piece. So this is I think the premium Bandai release of Portuguese D Ace Marineford. I'm trying to say the name, but this is Ace. If you know who he is, I do not want to give spoilers for people who are trying to catch up to One Piece or trying to watch One Piece without the spoilers. So I will not say who he is or that. But if you know who he is, you know. But yes, you've got this premium Bandai release, and boy, he is packed with all these accessories, including chains to recreate this iconic scene of him chained up. I wonder if that platform comes with it, or probably not.
No.
No.
Another example where they just use like their own like stuff just to make the figure display better.
Yeah, but to be fair, this looks awesome. Like, look at the fire effects, like just like coming off his like legs and arms and even his hair. Like, I'm pretty sure on the and look at that. That was sick. I mean, this is why where it's like, oh yeah, you need this for Ace, kind of like the effect pieces, because yeah, it's interchangeable arm parts and leg parts, and then obviously it has like the finger guns with the flame on the tip. So that's pretty cool, and it does come with a separate head for Luffy. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Again, I'm the Ashwan first because you know me.
Okay, Ashwan, what are your thoughts?
Right, so I haven't got to this part of the story yet. Like, I haven't been watching One Piece because at the moment I haven't even got past the main part, but or the first arc. But I know of the character because I've seen stuff and I know like who he is and the kind of the backstory to who he is, but I won't say anything. But it's just like his character design just looks very cool. Like his powers look cool. At some point, I don't know when, but I am gonna probably start getting the One Piece figure art stuff. It's just the main problem is because of course they're on the like higher price end. At least I think everyone's at least 60 quid and over. Like for the ones that I want, and like one of the ones I really want is Mihawk, and he looks so cool. But like I just know that he's a more deluxe figure, and so he's a bit more expensive. And but like this is another figure to add into the One Piece line that I think should go on for ages because there's so many characters they still need to do. But
Yeah,
I would say though, like when I saw it, I just instantly thought that looks great. To be honest, looks like she just plucked straight from it and put it. It's just honestly, it's just pure cinema. Let's say that, pure cinema.
Yeah, and I think Keanu Reeves, he had the original, but he's saying this looks like a huge upgrade. But yeah, I'm not sure if I want any, but Zion, you are the expert. What are your thoughts on this massive premium band release
So
for Ace?
for the original Ace, that was also a Bandai exclusive. It's like a $90 to $100 because that was also packed with like a shit ton of stuff, and I still want.
I am not looking. That was never scroll down for the comments. Anyway,
that Ace that they released, the original one, is more like how he looks like in when he appeared, and like how he normally looks like outside this arc, like in flashbacks and when he was with Luffy and the Straw Hats and the White Pirates. And I still want that version to have with my Whitebeard Pirates display because Marco's coming out this summer, and they tease Whitebeard.
Right.
And so I'm gonna have that original Ace with my Whitebeard Pirates. But this Ace, the new Marineford Luffy just came out this month, so that will go well with this. And this doesn't have the same accessories as the original Ace did. Like I think all of them is a new accessory.
Yeah, I don't think so. It didn't come with like these, especially like look at these fire. I don't think that original came with that, but maybe also like the chains as well, the cold cuffs.
And also those chains the Sea Prism Stone can go on other Devil Fruit users that Figure Arts have made.
That's good. I mean, it kind of, for me, this, like, obviously this is kind of like reminiscent of in the beginning of One Piece, where you had, I forget his name.
Who is he? Smoker?
I think so. Like in the first, like, say,
Zoro? When Zoro's locked down?
No.
He doesn't have...
It's the whole thing of, like, why... Is it Gold? No.
Gold Roger?
God. Yes, Gold Roger. Oh my God. Fake fan. No. Just brain fart, literally. It has that kind of like sort of same situation. Like it's kind of like, so maybe if they did do a Gold Roger, you could use that kind of accessory. Although I feel like they should do a Gold Roger and include this kind of platform. Then that makes more sense, if you know what I mean. I don't know if they've done a Gold Roger.
They haven't.
Oh, see?
There's a lot of characters that they need to do. Still waiting on Arlong.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. You'd think from the live action they do it, but like who knows? They might do a live action version of Arlong and Gold Roger. Don't know, but yeah. You were saying like how it's like the kind of like accessories you can use for like the other users. So that is definitely allows more play for this pet.
And they're also starting to make more Devil Fruit users. Like I think the only ones that they have out now is like Luffy, Kizaru, Kaido, and Blackbeard. I think those are the only ones that they have out now. And then like they have Crocodile, Boa. Oh, they have Ace too. Oh, and Sabo. Oh, so these accessories can also be used for Sabo as well. I just realized that.
Oh.
The fire accessories.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, I would say like you could use these fire accessories for any kind of like action figure. That it doesn't have to be One Piece if you're not wanting like if you wanted to spruce up other figures with fire effects. I know that sounds illegal because you should just stick with the One Piece with your One Piece figures. But I think like these fire accessories are, pun intended, really fire. So I know, showing my age in there. But yeah,
it's just that there's so much potential and so much like ability where you can like make your other One Piece figures better that you forget that you can't use them for like other lines too.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, we don't have any price for this. Well, it says pre-order today. Let me see if I can.
Oh no, I bet it's gonna be over $100 because like if crocodiles like $100, yeah, this guy's gonna be $100.
Yeah, let's see because, like you said, premium Bandai is always a bit of a sticky
Also,
situation.
Bandai, if you're watching, please revive the Bleach line, please.
Ooh. So, okay, there you go. $90. So you can place your pre-order now, and the scheduled shipping will be December. So not too far. I mean, I say that, but there's still a few months to December. But at least, hey, there you go. So we have that. So will you still be picking this up, at Zion, or are you kind of like waiting, or would you like, this is kind of like you got to place that pre-order?
With stuff like this, with being the premium Bandai exclusive, it's like a gamble because like some exclusives they get sold out immediately and it's very like they become very expensive and hard to get. But for some others, like the Kizaru and the Mihawk, those exclusives, you can like get those for like the same price after they came out.
Right. So
and I know Ace is like a pretty popular character, so he'll probably sell out. So I'll probably put in a pre-order just in case.
And will you be intrigued to do the same, Ashwan? Place the pre-order, or you kind of like wait on because like wait for this to kind of like settle down, like slow the flame on it.
I don't know. Like, what is? Do you know the $90 to pounds? Is it like?
I think I can calculate it here. Let's try the magician that is called Google. So $90 about 66.50 or 67.50 British pounds. So that's that kind of like exchange for that. But obviously with premium Bandai, you do have to take in consideration the shipping. So it could be, I'm not sure what that will go. Let me see if I can. Let's see. I've never ordered from here, but if I can get total shipping, it doesn't really give. I mean, it says like, no, it doesn't even give me like, oh, if it's like UK shipping. I don't know. That might be a thing we need to check next week because it's not giving me any calculation. Very slow, but there we go. Oh, that's a tease. That's a tease. So yeah, if you want to pre-order it, there you go. It's on Premium Bandai's website, so check that out if you want. Also, I forgot to mention we have Scotty Toys in the house. Whoop, whoop. He made his debut on Legends and Liquor last week, so shout out Scotty Toys, and also shout out him again because he made art of both me and Ashwan on his Insta. So I say go follow him on Insta at Scotty Toys. So if you go, there you go. But we move from anime. So sorry for everyone who doesn't like the weeb shit. We move on to Assassin's Creed. What? Now there was the recent sort of kind of resynced version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag that has come out or is in the work. Like they show the trailer and oh great. Now it seems that UPFF or UP Fine Figures, what a weird name, or LPZZ, it's a thing. They seem to be doing Assassin's Creed figures. Not only that, it seems like the first kind of figures that they will be doing are from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So we've got Edward Kenway. Not sure if you can see it, it's more grayscale here. And it seems that they're also doing Ezio Auditore da Firenze from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now, this is obviously, it says still like, this is kind of like pre-production, like the 3D kind of like renders. As you can see, a lot of people are doing videos on these. But as today's topic, this is very kind of like in line. But yeah, what do you guys think of finally getting some Assassin's Creed figures and the potential for later on? Are you guys fans, or what are your thoughts?
Assassin's Creed, I haven't played this since like the PS3 and the PS4 era, so I'm not really like familiar with like the newer games in this PS5 generation. So I've heard like mixed things about like each game, like each year. So I'm guessing Black Flag was like one of the successful ones since they're gonna make figures out of it, and I'm surprised that it took this long for a game series as popular as Assassin's Creed to even like get figures. So I'm glad that they finally like are like making them. And for now, I'm gonna pass on these. I'm gonna try the games out like when I can, and then see if I like them. And then if I like them, I'll like buy these figures.
I just saw on the chat we have displayed once. I only tuned in for Sailor Moon. Sorry, Rich. We don't have any Sailor Moon for sale. And he also goes, I don't need no Templars. If you know, Assassin's Creed, their main kind of like antagonists are like in the first game are Templars. I mean, it pretty much is Templars, but they kind of go through the kind of like restructure and rename of like Abstergo, because the whole thing is assassins versus the Templars. And Abstergo is the big company that like the Templars in charge of in the like present day. It's a whole thing. It's a weird lore. It's video games, so and each game it's a different assassin. But to go up with your comment about how like the games like with Black Flag was one of its like successful games. I mean, I think like 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, then 3, and then Black Flag were kind of like the hits of Assassin's Creed. Like they were like the gems, and then they moved to more of their new gen kind of consoles, because I think Assassin's Creed Black Flag was last game before like moving to next gen. That's when a lot of people saw kind of like a dip or sort of a different change as like the story went different ways, and the modern story, I mean, people don't play the moderns like they don't stick with that. They care for the assassin stuff, but it's a weird thing. But to have this, I think the only time there were figures, I think McFarlane did some Assassin's Creed. I know we're mentioning McFarlane. Oh, too early. But they did figures for like Assassin's Creed 3, and then also they did Black Flag, and then I think they did Syndicate. Then that's when they kind of stopped. And then I think before that was NECA. They did Assassin's Creed 2 Ezio. They did a lot of like Ezio's looks from the other games, as well as Altair, but it was like back when they were kind of still statues, so like great detail but not posable. Story of NECA's life. Not great figures, but like they look great but not posable, kind of like, but I think with a UPFF or LPZZ, whatever your name is, I mean, fix. But I think them getting this is promising, and display once again, 2 is the best one, and I like ones with the twins in London, even though everyone hates it. That is Syndicate. It's an okay game. I think one of the characters outshines the other in terms of playthrough, because like in that game you can choose either Eve or the other one, the male version. I think it was Jack, because they're like brother and sister. I think it's Jack and Eve. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but
It's been a year since I played it.
yeah, and obviously like with the resynced game of Black Flag, which is looking like it's a complete remake on the new gen kind of like sort of like gameplay. So the free roam is amazing, and they're focusing on just like that. Unfortunately, one of the things is that they've removed the DLC, so I don't know how I feel about that. But I think this is a good opportunity for figures because of like it is a third party, so but these are officially licensed, so it's kind of like devil's advocate, like kind of like a two-piece coin. We don't know what the price is going to be. We don't even know if it's going to be long, but I think, okay, there you go. Jacob and Evie, there you go. The display once got all the information, and I am lacking in that information right now. But yeah, so yeah, for so Zion, you not too much of a fan, but like you're intrigued. Would you say?
Because
Okay.
Assassin's Creed is like one of those games where it's like they release one every year, and it's just like how like they do with like the sports games, like the COD games, where I have to like pick and see like which one do I want to get this year's release, or do I want to like just like pass on it? And I passed on Assassin's Creed the last like few years, but I do need to like get back into it.
I mean, I highly recommend, like, if you want to start from the beginning. Oh no, actually, I wouldn't say start from the beginning. Wait until they do remakes of those. I don't know what happened. I would say, I think Mirage is a good one, and also I think Shadows is a good one to get into, like in terms of gameplay wise. But I'm sure you could look at launchers.
I played the most on PS3, so like
Oh,
those games are already or like know what they're about. I know I'm like already played them. It's just like the modern ones from like the late
yeah.
PS4 and the PS5 generation that I like really haven't like got into.
So I'd say out of the new gen, I'd recommend Mirage more. That one is a nice sort of kind of like assassin based game. The other one is good, but it's kind of confused on it. It's kind of like, oh, it's ninjas and samurai, but also an assassin game. And there's a bit of like it looks great, but if you want that, there you go. Or you can wait for Black Flag to come out. So who knows? Ashwan, what do you? Oh,
I said we will see.
yeah, exactly. And Ashwan, what is your kind of like thoughts on these like figures or like in general Assassin's Creed?
Personally, I love the franchise. I played a bit of Black Flag, like with mates, and just played it like a little bit of it. I haven't really played much of it, so personally won't buy these. But if they made figures of characters from Odyssey and Valhalla, I would definitely be in personally, because they're my main two that I really like. Just because one of them's set in Rome and the other one's set in like Viking like territory and stuff, and so I like the ones when they're like set in either Egypt, Rome, or stuff like that, just because they look map looks cool.
Okay, so like for those, I think for one of them is Origins, which is the one in Egypt with Bayek. Then you have Odyssey, which is the one with either Cassandra or Alexios, that one. And then with Valhalla, it's Ivor, but you can choose either for the male version of Ivor or the female version of Ivor. So if they did those, you would say you would get those.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. I mean, I think for me, I want to see if they do Altair. I mean, he's the OG. He's the first one. You got to get the first one. But I think if I do, I think I might get the Ezio. But who knows? It's also the case of like, what's the price? Because these figures are a bit of like a high end ones for like 1/12 scale. But yeah, it's an interesting kind of venture, and it seems like this company is looking for other licenses. One of them is Mortal Kombat. One of them is Arkham City. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, good on them. Let's see if these figures will be good. But yeah, from that we move to this. Mess Toys have revealed their painted prototype of the Green Goblin. Now, if you know Mess Toys, they have done a lot of like these amazing, like kind of amazing Yamaguchi customs of. So I'll show you here. They currently have Venom on pre-order, and that will be coming this year. So it will be available in June. And we talked about this previously on one of our Gen Z reports. So if you want to check what our thoughts on that, there's that. But then, so the most here we go. Cull's Cave. Shout out Cull's Cave. This is one of their figures of the symbiote neighbor. Just looks amazing. And like, I get people don't like the kind of like aesthetic because it's similar to Amazing Yamaguchi, but it's definitely not that price. And I think they're great figures. But with that being said, them doing a villain is very intriguing, especially if it's Green Goblin. Well, like, it is Green Goblin, but having Green Goblin means they could do like, they could reuse this for Hobgoblin or Demogoblin or whatever goblin sort of situation. What are your thoughts on this sort of reveal of a prototype?
I think that is very good, especially that they're just like diving into like villains. First they did Venom, and now they're doing Green Goblin. Now for like the how like popular he is, the 90s series. Goblin, I don't know if they're like or do enough that the company like they don't have like faith for it that will like really sell, because like a lot of like average fans don't know who like Demo Goblin are and like the Red Goblin and others. They really only know Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. So the only the next villain I could see them doing is like Doc Ock, to have like that trio of like names of like Spidey's main villains. And for this, I'm gonna pass on it, but I do know one of my friends like very excited for this because he has the symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I have symbiote Spider-Man. I do want to get the others, and I think you're kind of like bang on the money with like potential next villain of being Doc Ock. I mean, they kind of done him already. I mean, I say kinda just because we have got Superior Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
aka their superior neighbor, as you know, they can't call him Spider-Man for legal. But I mean, if they can do the kind of like the spider legs on this kind of like body, obviously it's going to be like how they will tackle a bigger character, or if they're going to do the more round version of Doctor Octopus, or they'll do his like more like slender kind of version. It is, but like they have the kind of tooling for the legs, for like the kind of like, so instead it will be the arms for Doctor Octopus. So I definitely can see that if they do that. And also shout out to Age of Toys. These are the current releases that they have. They have Kane or Scarlet Neighbor, and then they have Ben Riley, Scarlet Spider, or Scarlet Neighbor 2. And then and then they have the symbiote neighbor and then the superior neighbor. And they do have a prototype, if I can find it. No, I cannot. Well, they do have a prototype of Invincible. Still not sure when this will come out, but they also have a prototype for Red and Blue, which this is more of it, the the new Ultimate Spider-Man look, but you can budget as a classic Spider-Man. So this is also very intriguing, and like I'm looking forward to the releases because these are solid figures. But with that being said, Ashwan, what are your thoughts on the Green Goblin for Mess Toys?
Personally, I think it looks very good. Like, It's like such a good figure. I'm pretty sure there's cloth goods. Is it cloth goods on his bag?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Is it?
Let's enhance. Enhance. No, it doesn't
Oh,
look like
okay.
it's good. It looks like it's just plastic.
But anyways, like the figure looks like very good. But personally, I've never bought Mez toys before, so I don't know what they're like. And personally, probably won't start just because I've got a Legends Green Goblin, and when it comes to Venom, I may just get the Legends one as well, just because like I've got some CT Toys figures, so from like different lines to put in, and then just like sometimes when looking at them, they just look very odd out of place, and it's I don't mind it too much, but just like with some of the CT toys, they just look a bit out of place, and it's just I would much rather probably get like a legend or something. So personally, not for me, but whoever's buying this, and hope like it's good you lot are happy because it doesn't look like a very good figure. So
Like for me, like obviously, I don't think like it can gel well with the legends because legends are kind of more, they have more, I don't know, meat to them, sort of situation. Like they're more filled out. I'm digging myself a terrible grave, but I think for me, I always keep these on a separate display as like articulated like imports or kind of like the amazing Yamaguchi stuff. So like this kind of fits that, and it could also be like a mess toys display in itself. If you're getting all these figures, they can actually be together, and I think that works. But shout out John Morrissey, he is here. He goes, Yesh or Yeesh, Ashwan. What are your thoughts? Flex those Marvel muscles that you've been building. Exactly. But yeah, I think this is definitely a good kind of like release or like to pair with those Spider-Man figures. I mean, it's great to have Spider-Man, but you gotta have villains. So I think, with Venom, it's a great choice, but having a new like a kind of like iconic villain such as Green Goblin and the potential reuse of this figure, no doubt, I think they'll definitely be doing kind of like Hobgoblin, maybe Demogoblin, just because, like you said, he is obscure. But who knows? The sky is the limit with this kind of like when you're doing like a whole mess toys. Like there was that kind of like rumor of a third party kind of amazing Yamaguchi Mysterio, but who knows if that will happen? And maybe that might pair with this. But yeah, awesome sort of kind of like reveal or the fact that they're doing it. So yeah, there was a special Marvel Legends reveal during yesterday's exclusive con. Was it Brazil? Was it Brazil? No. Yeah, it was. I think so. We had the Marvel Legends. I didn't have it prepared because it was kind of weird, but let's see. Well, they have it on Pulse, so there we are. We had the reveal of the Spider-Man Brand New Day Hulk. So there was kind of expectations for the stream, but I think we're kind of like guessing that we would get a Hulk and Spider-Man. So yes, we have a Hulk. One of the things that everyone is talking about. They won't show me the other. Well, let's enhance, and let's enhance. Nope, that's not enhancing.
Zoom.
There we go. Zoom. There we go. Everyone's been talking about my man's hairline.
Yeah. At least he still has hair. Like this man Woody is. At least he's not like how Woody is.
Oh yeah. But definitely that receding line is I mean, I think that kind of fits Mark Ruffalo, so it's not accurate. I mean, it's not accurate, if you know what I mean. But it's strange for a Hulk to have a receding hairline. Only Maestro Hulk has that. I don't know if this is the MCU kind of foreshadowing Maestro, kind of that. But of course, we have this. A lot of people also had kind of like problems with the knees. They look all right. I mean, I'm gonna buy this, but and of course we have the Spider-Man here, which we'll get the look of later. But what are your kind of initial thoughts on this Hulk?
I think it's like a good enough upgrade because the last like MCU like normal like Savage Hulk they released I think in Age of Ultron, maybe because I
Yeah.
Infinity War only I mean not Infinity War Endgame only did Smart Hulk. Hulk didn't appear in Infinity War for that much. I don't think he only appeared in the beginning, so I don't think Legends made like a figure of him from that movie.
So they didn't make like an
or
Infinity
did
War
they?
one. They made an Endgame Hulk. It was part of a Build-A-Figure. He was the Build-A-Figure, and he came with
Yeah, the Smart Hulk.
Yeah, the Smart Hulk. That was the last kind of like proper Hulk. But you were right on like Savage Hulk.
A Savage.
Yeah, we haven't had a Savage Hulk in ages. But yeah.
And I won't be getting this just because like how I am like live action like figures in this scale, but that may like alter soon. I'll get to when we get to the Spider-Man.
And I just wanted to like we're looking at this art. He's got weird kind of like color pupils, or maybe that's just the image like reflecting. But also, the skin isn't like obviously that could be just lighting on the picture of this Hulk, but he's definitely more like dark green. I mean, especially if you look in that kind of like in the box, he's very like dark green rather than this kind of like pale green. Definitely need to see this like in a comparison shot with that Smart Hulk, which I do have. So might have to do that. But yeah. So Zion is a pass, but maybe, which we'll talk about when we get to Spider-Man. But Ashwan, will you be picking this up? I know you have some MCU figures, so is this kind of like an instant grab or kind of like a wait? And yes, Dan Who's here, and he corrected me. It was Mexico. I think I was getting confused with the Brazil con that was there before. So my bad. But yeah, Ashwan, what are your thoughts on this Green Hulk?
Honestly, it's an instant buy for me. Not like pre-order instant, but when it comes out, I will most likely end up getting it. I may pre-order it. I've been thinking past couple of days that I might. I just don't know whether to because most pre-orders from now on I don't tend to do through Pulse. I tend to do it through in demand just because they tend to have like stock afterwards, and so like I tend to just pre-order through them. So I may do that in the next couple of days for both of the figures. But I just think this like even though the hairline is kind of funny, it's like I just feel like it's good having a Hulk, and I just really wanted a Hulk for the longest time because like Hulk's one of my favorite characters like in comics, but also just like all time Marvel, and just to have him like on a shelf would be good because I've been contemplating to get the one that Craig show off before, which is I think is the Infinity War SH Figure Arts one. I think.
Right. Yeah.
I think they done one for Infinity War, and
Yeah.
that looks really good. But Marvel Legends wise, like most of them have been like kind of small, or like they done Smart Hulk, which was kind of small but weren't too bad. He just didn't come with cloth goods, which he kind of needed because he wear the weird like tracksuit thing. But this one looks very good. Size is very good. I'm happy. At least it doesn't seem like it's a reuse of the Red Hulk one, and I was kind of scared that they were going to do that. But I'm happy that they haven't because it doesn't make sense if they were to. But looks good overall, and just excited to get it in hand. To be honest.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm kind of I'll wait to get this, but I definitely want this. I did get the Red Hulk, so I think I'll definitely pair these two together. I know the movies won't pair them together, but I will in my mind. Red Hulk needs to fight a Green Hulk. But yeah, so we move from Spider-Man. Obviously, this will be the pre-order will be available to ship approximately 15th of July. So you know, that's pretty good. And I don't know why it doesn't show Spider-Man, but let's get Spider-Man because he was also revealed together with. There we go. Um, oh, raw, low stock on the Marvel Legends series Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, for me, this is an instant grab because I'm one of those who didn't wait, like who wasn't like impatient to get the final swing suit because I knew that suit was not going to be the suit he would wear in his next film because that was all CGI. Oh, I spoiled it. Oh no. But if you know the final swing suit, it was all CGI. So they wouldn't move that for the next movie. So I'm kind of glad. And the colors were a bit like they were shiny. And I think like, you know, this was moving to a more grounded Spider-Man. And I think this kind of darker blue and more muted red, not muted, but like kind of like less shiny version of red kind of fits that version, especially in the movie. He's kind of like this he's in a darker phase if you know from the trailers, you know, he's going through some changes. But yes, and this Spider-Man looks amazing, or spectacular. Oh, I don't know. But at least with this Spider-Man, he comes with the, you know, wall crawling hands, the thwip hands, and the fists. So this is a great offering, and I'll probably pre-order him soon. But what are your thoughts on this brand new day Spider-Man?
Like I said previously, usually I don't collect like live action figures like in this scale, but recently that's kind of like changed because like hot toys are like super expensive, and with like these Marvel Legends, even though like the face coats and they like haven't been like the best like the older MCU figures, recently with like the new technology and all that stuff, they've been like updating it to where they actually look decent, and like some of them look good. And with the MCU, I was like, I love the MCU. It's my favorite franchise of like all time. Well, one of them. And some of the characters in it, I would like to have like representations of like physically, in figures. And with this new Spider-Man coming out, it's be a perfect opportunity to get like that MCU Spider-Man in like a good figure in like a good figure form. Because like the older ones, they weren't like outdated. They dated like the Homecoming one. I don't know, that's outdated, and this one seems to be looking good with the accessories and the articulation, the aesthetic. Like looks very good. So I might actually get this.
Fair enough. I think we're all jumping on that board, but Ashwan, is this an instant pickup like the Hulk, or even more instant pickup because it's Spider-Man?
This is an instant pickup for me. Like, it's just every MCU figure that comes out, I want to get. It just depends on whether I have the money or not at the time. Because the whole Deadpool Wolverine stuff that recently or got revealed a fair bit ago, and then now is like coming out within weeks. Is like I want to get most of that, but then it's just depending on whether like I have the money for it. But this like I'm probably gonna within the next couple of days pre-order it through in demand as well as that Punisher and Jessica Jones 2-pack, just because I really want to get MCU stuff, and I said before on like live streams that with my MCU stuff, as much as I am trying to backtrack as well as go forward, I'm trying to like at least have like every movie that comes out from like 2025 and upwards, I'm trying to get just because then I have 2025 because I got all the Thunderbolts. I've only missing the Thing from the Fantastic Four, and then I got Daredevil and Punisher. So I've got them, but then
Yeah,
like I'm trying to backtrack a little bit and get some smaller stuff. Hence why I got the Secret Invasion Nick Fury, just because there's only two figures for that. As much as Secret Invasion was a bit iffy, but still to have it on a shelf is like I still kind of want that property on the shelf, if you know what I mean. Like even though the good ones and the shit films and shit series is, I still kind of want them on the shelf just because they look cool.
Yeah, you want everything from like the MCU, the good, the bad, and like the ugly in some cases. But I mean that fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, they're like I didn't get the other Spider-Man as well, just because I was a little bit late on that and didn't get any of the movie figures for the older movie or No Way Home. But like I want to get the Andrew and Toby, even though there's a new Andrew coming out. I do want the older one just because it comes with a like Andrew head sculpt. But I didn't end up getting the Tom, but I will definitely get this one just because like I'm not gonna bother getting that one, even though it's got brighter colours and it may look a bit nicer. But I just want this one just to put there, and then if I do maybe get the older Tom, then I might just like grab the head sculpt and just put on this one or something. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with the other one, but if I do get it, but it's very good, 10 out of 10. Instantly gonna pre-order, so yeah.
There we go. And there was another reveal during the stream. So I'm not giving it too much screen time, but we did have the reveal of Spider-Man Noir it's a comic one, and it's obviously in this new kind of like card, like almost retro card, but it's mainly for Spider-Man Noir. I know Dan and Jay talked about this yesterday during a impromptu live stream while they were waiting on the panel for the reveals. And obviously, the initial thought was it was the Spider-Man Noir from the Spider Noir show with Nick Cage. But unfortunately, it's all reuse. It is just the Spider-Verse figure, but they're showing it off as a comic figure, which it really grinds my gears. I mean, they could do a whole like Spider-Man Noir. I feel like deserves more respect than just getting a reissue from a Spider-Verse figure. Also, shout out Dan Yun. He said that the Hulk is on a new body. He is 8.75 inches tall. His shirt is removable. Spider-Man has a new torso with a new spider design and has updated colors. So if you wanted to know that, there you go. But yeah, I'll get a better picture. Shout out Reddit. But also there was the Daredevil Born Again Jessica Jones 2-pack. But Reddit's crazy. Yeah, these were the shots, and you can tell this is the Spider-Verse figure, but with a nice gun. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I wish they would give Spider-Man Noir some love, like the comic version, or even one of my favorite ones is the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which is a game that I love, and obviously today's about video games. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this reveal? There's no pre-order for it, but it's just been revealed. What are your thoughts?
This is an immediate pass. Not because not just because like its reuses. It's mainly because like the whole like Spider-Verse like shelf and everything. I'm not really like collecting like now. I'll probably be something I'll do like down the line. And even if I want like a Spider-Man Noir, I could get the one from like the Spider-Verse movies because that's like probably be like a better fit because that figure can like pass as like a comic figure in the first place.
Yeah, I initially thought this was just like a Beyond Spider-Verse like reveal, and it's just a reuse. But to put it as a comic figure, it's so strange. It's like, it hurts to. I mean, if you like the Spider-Verse look, then you're like, yay, I can get that. But gosh, Ashwan, what are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, like I didn't know what to think when I saw this. I was on the live stream not on the live stream, but I was watching the live stream that Jay and Dan were doing, and like instantly as soon as I saw it, not anything to do with Dan or Jay, but I instantly just went off of it because I was just like, what kind of reveal is this? like not anything to them two, but it was just like I instantly saw it and I just got disappointed because I get the whole Spider-Man theme, like keeping it on theme, this, that, and the other, but like the whole thing of like X-Men '97 season 2 coming out, like maybe there could have been anything to do with that, like, and just like they could have done another MCU figure, but no, they decided to re-release a Spider-Man Noir that we've had before, say his comic, and give him some cool little fancy-looking gun. It's just like it's a bit cheap from him, I think. But personally, I'm not gonna get it until maybe it goes on like sale because I can see it going on sale. But I just know a lot of people may, even though a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't like it, but because it's on a card, a lot of people might like it more, and then they might keep it on card. Maybe.
Are you saying a certain Dan who might want this on because it's a retro card?
Maybe. Dan, you gotta get it. You gotta buy two. You gotta buy two.
I mean, you definitely need two. One to review and one to put on the wall. But yeah, I think we all share the same thought. This is just a disappointment. And just yeah, it was weird. Like if imagine they did market this as the Spider Noir Nick Cage figure. Oh, that would have been terrible. And I think, like, obviously, like we were talking, Dan and Jay were thinking that. I know for them, it was midnight, so it was late for them. But my gosh, that would have been a shrug. But yeah, weird reveal. Like, not even like talking about the mysterious reveal, like accessories that they've revealed so far, like for teasers and that stuff. The whole New York sewer lid and the mysterious whooshing effect that clearly is for a vehicle. A lot of people thinking it's Magneto, but I think it's a vehicle, and I think it's a Professor X kind of chair. Do excuse? There you go. It has that kind of. Anyway, that was the toy news for this week. Now let's get to the main topic of the top 3 video games. So obviously we can see this cover for the thumbnail. Now, before we get into our actual top 3, I think we need to do a honorable mention. So, boom, Ashwan, let's get started with you. You had your honorable mention of the Lego Marvel Superheroes game. Explain yourself.
Well, like, as much I love Lego games like as a whole, but like it's just this is one of the first ones I played like as a kid, and just because my love for Marvel, instantly playing this, and like the main thing I love about this one compared to the other Marvel games that have been done, is that you get a bit of everything, and it's more comic. So like they kind of delved into movie stuff a little bit, but not really. And it's mostly just like you play certain levels as like the Avengers, then you play a level as a whole Fantastic Four, you play a level as the X-Men. Like it's just a good Lego game just to play as like, and the whole storyline is kind of weird because there's a whole thing of like at the start of it and up to a certain point, it's basically the whole story of the like, of course, good guys v bad guys at the start. Then closer to the end, it's like a whole thing of like the good guys and bad guys coming together to take it or to defeat Galactus because he's trying to eat the world. And so it's a cool little like game, cool little characters in there. Like other than the story, there's some cool little comic characters in there that maybe some people wouldn't know unless you played it or just know comics. And yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, you muted.
You're muted.
Oh, there we go. I wanted to show like one of the like shots in the game that like kind of sells. Like I do agree on this with you. Ashwan, because this game was like I think I wouldn't say revolutionary, but it was like of its time, you know, before the kind of like MCU-ification, but also the kind of like that point before Fox decided or Marvel decided to kind of like disassociate with the Fantastic Four and X-Men because they were a bit salty that they didn't get the rights. But I don't know what this is. So, you know, this game, like, look at this image right here.
That we can't see.
Oh, you can't see? Ah, look at that. There you go. I mean, look at that. This is kind of what we're kind of looking towards in Doomsday, you know, the whole like teams getting together kind of situation. But Lego Marvel did it first. Like you've got the X-Men, you've got, you know, the Brotherhood, you got Abomination, you got Venom, you got chaos. Like it was so fun. And
What
you
the
know,
MCU
like
should have been.
exactly. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to jinx myself and play the video. Maybe I can. I'll mute it. Like Silver Surfer and Galactus. You got the, you know, Hydra, Magneto. It was a fun game, and I think like the current games that we have, like, I mean, I think Lego Batman is kind of bringing that back of like, oh, we're just fun now. And it's a kind of embracing that kind of like, oh, there's so many, you know, so many movies, so many games, and we can do that in Lego Fun. And yeah, honestly, great pick, Ashwan. Lego games are such a great fun game. I know they're for kids, but you know, even for comic people, yeah, kids. But you know, you can enjoy it because like there are like characters like the Wizard, or you can. This is one of the games that Punisher was in. Lego Punisher. I mean, what? He's out here.
You also got the Mandarin in that game, and you know how Marvel feels about him.
Exactly. So it's like but yeah. Honestly, great honorable mention, Ashwan. I wouldn't say like, oh, what figures would you want from this? I mean, it's just Lego minifigures. But I mean, would you want like to get kind of like a nostalgic set of the crew, or would you just like want the kind of like the team you would build like this whole roster here? Like, what would you do if you wanted like
personally, I would want figures or Lego figures that like are in the game but aren't in Lego figure form, if you know what I mean. So like there's a big figure of Colossus, we haven't got that in proper Lego. We
Yeah.
haven't got a proper Lego Kingpin. We haven't got a proper Lego Abomination. We haven't got a proper Lego Thing. And so like that's the main thing that I also find funny is that Lego games do the Lego figures, but Lego don't even then do the figures from the games, like of the big things. So that's personally what I'd want from it. But
I mean, you are like bang on the money. Like, I don't think we've gotten a proper classic Hulk and, like you said, Thing or Colossus, Abomination, not even a Mr. Fantastic. Like, there was the movie set, but there's not been any comic love or like just straight up. Like, there's kind of like they're doing the Spider-Man stuff, but come on, do it like back in the day. Give us more. But yeah, honestly, great picks for the honorable mention. Now, Zion, this was your honorable mention, God of War 2018. Explain yourself. Why is this your honorable mention?
No. Growing up, I was a PlayStation kid. I had like a PS3 and a PS4. And there was a time when I had the PS4 where I was like getting like a whole bunch of like games and like that were like coming out and that were already out, especially the exclusives. And I was late to the God of War train because this game came out in 2018. In 2018, the game I was playing the most was Red Dead 2. So I didn't get God of War to like Christmas in 2021. And I remember when I first heard about the game and all the reviews, and I was like, so this game is like the best of that year, better than Red Dead 2 and Spider-Man. So I was like, let me see what this is about. And already from Marvel, I was already like interested in like that whole like Norse mythology realm, with Thor and like Asgard and all that. And I know this game is like heavily based and more accurate, even though it's not 1-to-1 accurate, but it's still like semi-accurate to the actual Norse mythology. I want to say like what's this game about, and like is it really like good? So I played it, and I was blown away by like the combat and the story, and like just how like it is as like a game. And I remember Christmas Day, I got it. I got onto it, and it started off a slow, like at first, like for the first like 30 minutes. I'll say it was more like emotional because of like what happened like in prior events of the game to like Faye, and then when Baldur shows up, that's when the game just like starts to turn all of his dials to 11. It starts to become like that true PlayStation action game that I really love. And then going through it, it makes you like really like care about the story of like the father-son relationship of Kratos and Atreus, and then they meet allies and enemies along the way. It makes you want to like make sure and want to complete their mission of like what they set it out to do, and through the hardships, they make the father-son relationship between Kratos and Atreus. They get closer and start to understand each other, and that's one thing that I thought was done very well. Is like the dynamics and like how like real the family drama was between them, and the gameplay is just amazing. Like the way like Kratos has the Leviathan axe, and then the boss fights, and just the boss fights alone is just they're amazing. And one of the boss fights I'm trying to beat now is the Valkyrie Queen. I still haven't beat her. But one day. Yeah, through the gameplay and
I was gonna say those Valkyries are no joke. I mean, they're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. I mean,
because it's like 9 Valkyries, and I remember I was like beating the 8 normal ones throughout like the thing must have been like 3 months, and then when I finally got to Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen, I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this, and then kept on dying. That was 2 years ago when I first got to her. And I'm still trying to beat her.
Yeah, I mean, look at them, like they're insane. Like, look at these. Like, this is not your normal Valkyrie. This is God of War. God of War is like, yeah, we're cooking. Yeah, they're like absolute chaos. But yeah, honestly, that's a great pick. And I know there have been action figures of God of War. I think they've done, I think Spin Master did, Kratos and Atreus. I'm not sure if it was God of War Ragnarok or
2018.
Yeah, it was the 2018 one. So are you going to pick that up as like representation, or are you kind of like...
Yeah. For like video game figures, like Spin Master has done like PlayStation games like they did Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, Horizon, and God of War. And so, and even though they don't like look like the best, it's still like decent figures for like these games that like no one else has like really like dabbled in. And if I had to pick one character, it would definitely be Baldur, because as like the main antagonist of that game.
Really? I mean, so that would be a sick. I mean, I really want someone to do figures of this, like both God of War, like 2018, God of War Ragnarok, but also kind of God of War, like, the older games as well. They kind of deserve that kind of like figure treatment. But like you said, so there was the NECA version, but the Spin Master ones, if I can see here, Spin Master, because it was weird because like Spin Master is usually not that kind of like they don't do action figures a lot. I mean, they do like the kids line, but this was kind of like a new sort of like situation.
Oh, I guess it
But
was Ragnarok.
oh, it is Ragnarok. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it is. Yeah, no, it's Ragnarok. So dang it. I gave you false hope. I'm sorry. But like I think if they did a 2018 one, like a 2-pack, like they did with Ellie and Joel from Last of Us, like you said, that would be sick. And like you said, Boulder would be a sick figure, honestly. I've played the game and I've enjoyed it. So I don't know how big that Boulder would be, but who knows? But yeah, great pick, Zion. And I think mine is a bit of a confusing one. My honorable mention is, of course, DC Universe Online. Now, it's for those who don't know, DC Universe Online is, like I said, it's an online game, free to play, and let's get a picture of that so to explain it, because it's a bit of it's a game that has it started in 2011, so it's been going for a long time. Like I think I can find one of the older screenshots of the game. Like this was it back in the day. But the whole basis of the game is that you create your own character who has had like you can create either a hero or a villain, and the whole kind of gist of the story is that you were experimented by Brainiac and he's put exobytes. That's the whole gimmick of why you have powers. So you can either choose to be a villain and, choose your mentor from Lex Luthor to Joker, or even, Cersei for magic. So, with the hero, you can either have your mentor as Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. And you can choose different sorts of powers. You can choose Green Lantern power, electricity, earth, ice, fire. But one of the things that I loved about this game, and I had to say as an honorable mention because I've been playing it for so long, I think since 2011, is the fact that you could free roam Metropolis and Gotham, and other locations.
Wow.
So like you can be a speedster and run across the water in Gotham City, or you can fly around Metropolis and visit locations like the Daily Planet, or and like there's a good fan like player base even now. And I'm saying this is a game from 2011, so they have done like minor changes to like the aesthetic. Like it's not looking like this anymore. Like because this was the start, and it's funny enough had Kevin Conroy voice Batman. So even in the earlier missions that you play when you start, it's Kevin Conroy Batman. So it's the definitive Batman, and the Joker is also Mark Hamill. But oh yeah, like one of the like most iconic things about this game is the intro cutscene. Not intro. You had this like post-apocalyptic world or Earth where everything was like messed up, and you had the heroes fighting like the villains, and Superman came down from his like he was in the sun bathing in, but he just like came in, like he killed Black Adam, but he also had a fight with like Green Lantern with like a arm brace, and it was like the most mad kind of like intro, and then look at that, Lex Luthor kills Superman in that intro, like he straight up just goes stab, and then it's the reveal that Brainiac has just come, and this is like from a different world, and that Lex Luthor decides to release these exobytes to give the people from the present powers. So like that is you're that person with the power, and it's like, oh, maybe you can change the world, and it's like it's such a crazy game, and I think that's why I picked it as my honorable mention. It's such a fun game. You can create characters. I've seen people create Marvel characters. I've seen them do Assassin's Creed, God of War. You could, like, the sky is the limit with that, and I think there's not a lot of games that do that anymore. Well, especially like superhero games that you can create your own character. So that's why I picked it as my honorable mention. And I don't think you can do figures of your own. I mean, that's just kind of like you have to do yourself DIY. But in terms of DC, we're getting Mattel, so there we go. But that was the honorable mentions. Now let's get to Ashwan. Your picks for the top 3 favorite games of all time for you. Now, let's start off with the first one. Take it away.
Right. So, Resident Evil Requiem. Personally, I know it may be recency biased because it came out this year, but personally, I just thought it was a great game throughout. My favourite game character of all time is Leon, just because I love Resident Evil and Leon's one of my favourites. And as much as I love 2 and 4, like, this just ups the ante so much, and you get so much cool shit from Leon throughout this game, and just like how he is and how he acts in the game is just so cool. And just like the certain bosses and the certain like callbacks to number 2, and pretty cool. And also it's set 20 years later, so realistically Leon should be like 50 to 60 years old, and yet he looks like younger somehow. Like, he's supposed to be like 60, and he's supposed to be like look old, and yet he still looks like he can do stuff, and he can. Like, he's full game, he's just going at it, he's just getting through there, doing cool this, that, and the other. So that's the first one, because that is a pretty sick game.
And would you say for that game, like if they did action figures like in the 1/12 scale, would you be getting that to have that kind of representation on your display?
Definitely, yeah. Like, if they were to make Resident Evil figures, I know that I don't think a proper company have done them. I know indie companies have done Resident Evil figures, but like, even if an indie company were to do Requiem figures, I mean, the main 2, of course, is going to be Grace, who is the other protagonist of the game, and basically you play as her for most of the game because she is the proper protagonist of this game. But like, her whole story is that she's an FBI agent, and she's going to basically investigate the whereabouts, or not the whereabouts, investigate the old building that her mum died in. Her mum got murdered in. And so, like, she's there as an FBI agent scoping it out, and basically that then goes from her scoping it out to then going into this whole massive story, and that I won't get into it too much, but it goes from her basically just being this FBI agent going to just investigate about her mum, and then it just then turns instantly into this whole other completely different story and stuff like that. But like, definitely I would want them to, as figures, if you're able to, as accessories, I would want like little like Easter eggs or little this, that, and the other, like a Mr. Raccoon statue, like an RPD badge, like red herb, green herb, stuff like that. But yeah, that's first game, and then second game, I'll go left, and then I'll go right, and then I'll go middle, because middle, I'm assuming you haven't heard of, so I'll talk about that a bit more. But Minecraft, of course. I mean, everyone knows Minecraft, I would hope so, at least. But
Chicken Jackie.
Flint and Steel.
That probably is not the like what you want to hear. Especially.
I haven't watched that film, but I don't know whether I will. But anyways, I love the game. Like, I played it a bit later than most people did. I didn't end up playing it release or this, that, and the other. I played it a bit more later. But just if you were to look at the hours that are on my PlayStation and Xbox, you would probably think, "What the hell are you doing on it?" Because honestly, like, it's just the amount of hours I have on that game is just crazy, and it's just like, of course, if you don't know of Minecraft, it's a survival game. You play as like these block type people. The main character is called Steve, but you can play as whoever you want near enough. You can like make your own character, kind of. You can play as Steve, Alex. You can play. You can buy packs, so you can play as whoever. You can play as like, even they have collabs where you can play as Stranger Things, Batman, like this, that, and the other. And basically, it's just a survival game, and it's just like every other survival game. It's just loot up, just like get resources, build a house, and basically just try and like survive the night. But then, whilst in Minecraft, Minecraft has its own kind of story within it where you have to like defeat the Ender Dragon, kind of. And so, like, there's a whole thing of you going to do that, and you have to go through this whole like journey to do that. But it's just, my main reason why I love it so much is just because, like, I'll play it for ages with my friends. We'll play it for ages, stop playing it, and then randomly we'll just play it for ages again. Like, it's just one of them games that no matter what, even though it's the same game every time, I still love it, because it's, even though it's the same stuff, even though it's the same kind of stuff you're going to be doing on every world, it's such a good game, and how it's made, and it constantly gets updates, and it's just new stuff being added, and it's such a good game. I just can't say any more, to be honest. Just need to play it yourself.
And I was going to say, like, we know because of the movie, there's been like a resurgence of like, merch for Minecraft, and I don't know if you've seen the figures that they have done of yet. So here we got, like, they've done the game stuff, so you can see Steve there, and but they've also done movie stuff, which is obviously Jack Black, and Jason Momoa and whatnot. But they have done game stuff. Have you been interested in these kind of like figures for like representation on the shelf, or you kind of like they're kind of a bit, maybe it's kind of just the case of like, oh, I keep it like in the game sort of aspect, because like there is a kind of like, oh, does everything need to be represented, or would you want like a game display and have Minecraft represented in your display?
Personally, I'm not too bothered. Like, I used to have like a Steve and a zombie or something. I can't remember like where they are, but I used to like have one. But if I were to get something, I don't think I would get like a full thing. I maybe would get like a little Steve and put him on like my desk or something like that, because I don't mind having representation of them like on a shelf, but I realistically don't want to take up a whole shelf of Minecraft stuff personally. Like, I'd put it on like a desk, or I'd put it like a little, I'd only have it in like a little part. I just like, and also the amount of like different characters that are in the game is like, there's like so many different just of like one animal. Like horses, for example, there's like multicolored, like different colored horses. Like, you get brown
like
one, grey one, like so the zombie one, like zombie one, skeleton one. Like, it's just like, basically, if I were to buy Minecraft figures, I think I would be broke very quickly, because there'd be so many to buy from. Like, it's just like, and also like you're showing now with a little parrot with Steve. That's probably only the one pack you get a parrot in, so then it'd be like more money just to get a little bloody parrot. Like, but
I mean,
they look pretty cool though.
I would say like one of the things, obviously this topic is about video games and our favorites. I would say if you wanted to do a video game display but not like one specific, I'd say maybe get one representation, so like you said, like a Steve, and then have that as your representation of that game. But yeah, I've been kind of tempted to get a Steve just because like he's so iconic, and like one of the displays I would want to create is a Super Smash Bros. I know it's not, spoiler alert, it's not on one of our picks, but it is such a like iconic game of like fighter versus fighter from different franchises, and obviously Steve is in one is in Super Smash Bros. So it's like I kind of want one, but like I don't care if he's like you're not like, oh, I want him to be super posable with like the best articulation. You kind of feel like because of how the game is, you don't mind this kind of like the offerings that they have, like from I think it's Mattel, or yeah, it's Mattel. But yeah, and you mentioned your last pick or your second
Mhm.
pick, which was Grounded 2. Now I have no clue what this is. Explain yourself. What is this game?
Okay. Well, Grounded 2, of course, is the second in the franchise. So, like, kind of briefly, but also I may go a lot into this. The first game, I love the second game more so than I do the first game, but there's a reason for that, and I'll get to that. But the first game, you play as the four kids. In the second game, they're much older. In the first game, of course, they're way younger. And basically, you all get tested on by this, like, organization that they shrunk you down like Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
All right.
But it's basically an organization that does it more so than like your parents, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids film. But like an organization shrunk you down, and it's a survival game, but you're in a back garden. So the first game you're in a back garden, and your whole like aim of the game is to then regrow yourself again. So you got this machine that can regrow you, and the whole game you're going around like doing different stuff to like it's a whole like story within it where like you have to then find like the doctor that is known for like he's part of the good company, and then there's like the bad company side of it, and like that's Grounded 1, and then that then ends with you growing, and then there's a whole story in that, but that ends with you growing, and then it leads into Grounded 2, which is this one. And basically, how Grounded 2 starts off is the doctor in the first game, who is a good guy, for some reason, like, he just has gone, like, basically to give it, like, slightly, he's basically gone feral. I don't know why. I don't know why yet. But also, like, give you an understanding of this game. The main reason why I love it as well is this game is a game preview game. So this is mostly on Xbox. It isn't on like PlayStation just yet because it's a game preview. And basically, whilst you're playing the game, here, there, and whenever, you get updates for the game, and the game updates whilst you're playing it.
Oh.
And so whatever time you jump on the game, there could be an update of this different thing. So it's like, and basically, this second game is so the doctor has gone feral and basically just started going crazy. He then so in the first game you have this little robot friend called Burgle, and so the doctor then pulls off Burgle's head, like in the second game in like a little trailer, and so like which is basically meant to be his best friend, and so he goes like crazy, and then the kids then get shrunken down again to then find out why the doctor's doing like what he's doing, but they like agree to it this time. But in the second game, instead of you being in a back garden, you're in like a park, like a garden, like a park thing. So you're in a massive park. The map is like, I don't know, like when the game is fully out, I think it's going to be like 5 times the map of the first game, and basically, like you start off in there. There's like a whole story to it, and it's still ongoing at the moment. But like, I just love it so much, and just the main thing I think is really cool. It's just way different from any other survival games because you're the size of because you're that small. The enemies you're fighting are like ants, spiders, scorpions, caterpillars, snails, like every insect you think of, and they also kind of make up their own insects, and so you have like bombardier beetles that shoot out like acid out of their bum near enough and like shoot at you, and then like the butterflies have like ice powers, even though like they're just normal butterflies, but then they shoot with like ice stuff. And like there's a whole like thing in the game where it's like the gear you have on gives you like effects, and it's like different classes that you can pick, so you can kind of, it's not like a class kind of thing where it's like a D&D thing where you pick your class and then you're that class. It's more so like you can wear a mage armor set, then you have a mage boost, and so you're better with a staff. You can wear like a fighter set, you have like a, you're better with a sword, like this, that, and the other. And just like it's one of the games that I play most of the time, even though like despite me being up to date with the story, and so when the next update comes out, I'll literally be straight on it. But it's just the fact of like me just playing it. Like it's the same with Minecraft. I play it all the time just because I'm sat there and I'm just building my base. Like, I've got like a massive castle that I'm trying to build or something, and it's just like it's just cool playing it, because I don't tend to play this one with my friends because they aren't too keen of it, but I just like the whole idea of it, and I don't mind playing it by myself just because like it's so. I just like the game, and if you haven't tried it out, then I definitely would recommend it if you're able to, because like it's just such a cool game, and there's certain designs in the game, like certain, as well as the effects of the mage class. You also have, so one of the pictures you were showing off was the ice cream truck, and so there's a flipped over ice cream cart in the backyard or in the garden, and basically that gives you like a chill effect, like an icy effect. So then whenever you walk into it, you then just freeze up and you can't really do much, and so you then have to get armor that protects you from the cold. And so it's like a whole thing of like different environments in the map and different enemies you come against. You have to wear different armors and this, that, and the other. And I know I've gone on about this for a long time, but I love the game. So yeah,
share that passion, man. Like honestly, like looking at this, it looks so fun. Like you were saying, like kind of like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of vibe, but that kind of like armor kind of like thing you're describing. I was like, you know what, that actually sounds fun. And like, is this, so would you say this is like an not like a battle royale, but more of like just like this is it, would you say it's an online game, or can you play it offline by itself? Like you think you can play it by yourself?
Honestly, you can do whatever you want. So it's on the basis it's a survival game, and but you can play it single player, you can play it multiplayer, you can do like whatever you want. Basically, it's up to you. It's not like set rules. You can play it. I play it single player personally, but you can play it with friends, and like also there's a thing they added recently where you can make your own maps. So like basically like the map. So the map in the second game, of course, like I said, is the like massive park. But in the like, it's called Playground, and that's basically the map of the first game, and you can basically just make whatever you want. So you can make your own game there, like, and then you could then like make it and just make your friends play it, and you can make your own kind of world. Like you have all the effects of the base game, but in that mode. And of course, you're showing now the Dozer boss fight, which is the most recent update that came to the game. And to give you, of course, you can tell by the trailer of how big, or how small you are, shall I say? Because this is like a normal lizard, and you're literally like that compared to him. And I personally have defeated him once, and honestly, he's fairly difficult. But like the boss fight that came before this is the most biggest one, which I'll say already that I haven't said before. If you don't like spiders, then there's a arachnophobia mode. If you like were considered or talking about if you're thinking about that, because there's a fair bit of spiders in it. So just in case some people, but one of the main boss fights that you fight is exactly one of the main boss fights you fight is a tarantula.
Right.
And so to think of how small you are compared to a tarantula,
oh boy.
like, and the fact that there's only these two so far, like they're gonna add so much more, and also to even add into something which I don't think is in any of the pictures, but in one of the parts of the map, there's a snake that goes around part of the map. He doesn't. You can't fight him because he's one of. So to give you an idea, in the first game as well, there was a koi pond and there was a koi fish in the pond.
Yeah.
And the fish you wouldn't be able to kill the fish, but the fish would like, of course, be able to kill you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so like it's just kind of the same idea with a snake, where you can't really kill it, but it just like goes around the like little part of the map. But then on the back of it, you can like mine off his scales, and you can turn his scales into like gear and stuff, so you can still get stuff of him. And so it's like a kind of thing like that, and you just have to be like careful when maneuvering around the map. And there's just certain areas which coincide with certain creatures, and certain places that you'd rather not go, certain places you would rather go, and like also there's a whole thing of there's a whole thing in the game where you peep creatures, and basically that then tells you their weaknesses and resistances, and so you then, like I said with the gear earlier, you then would have to then with the gear then get the right stuff, so then you'd be able to defeat them way easier. And so yeah.
Honestly,
Personally, I play as Max because there's Hoops, Max, Willow, and Pete, and I play as Max. So.
Okay, let me see if I can. Let's see. It doesn't show all of them together, but we do have the from the slide. So which one is Max from here?
Max is the black kid in the ladybug armor.
Right. Okay. Sick. And would you want to get like? Oh, sorry.
Oh no! All I was gonna say is that Pete is the boy next to him. Willow is the girl on the left, and then Hoops is the one on the right.
Right. Okay. And would you like want action figures of like? Would you want for Max, and like kind of like who like? I don't think there are any action figures of this because obviously, like you said, it's not like it's obviously a recent game that's not fully out. But if there were figures, who would you want to do these figures? Like straight from your brain, like would you say Hasbro, Mattel, or I don't know, Jada?
I haven't really like gone into much thought about it, but thinking off the top of my head, scale wise, and even though like I don't know, but the people that make, I'm pretty sure it's Jax that make the current Simpsons stuff.
Oh yeah,
just because like their figures at the moment are pretty good. Like scale wise, they would kind of fit within the same kind of thing, and like. But the only thing is, like, with the game as well, because there's so much stuff in the game, like, you wouldn't probably get that much in a pack. But I would personally go with, I would like Max. Max in maybe some sort of armor. I don't really mind what it is. But also, within some of the pictures, you can ride, like, you have buggies. So you can have a rideable ant. And so, I would, like, put that in with it.
Okay. I mean, just to show everyone, like what kind of like Jax will do, like it has done for like action figures. They've obviously done, the Mario. They're obviously doing the Simpsons. They've also done like other games like Streets of Rage, although it's always like their scaling with those figures are a bit different. But I could see a potential of like them doing because like you said, the characters are like small scale compared to kind of like the creatures. So maybe the creatures would be like 1/12 kind of size ish, but then like the characters being like 1/18. But yeah, I mean, it would be a good kind of like figure, and maybe kind of like they have like accessory packs for like armor type. So like you can do variants and that stuff. But yeah, great picks. I've never known Grounded 2. So I might have to give it a try. I do have Xbox,
I've heard the first one, but I didn't know there was a sequel.
There we go. The more you know. So you've got two new fans to the franchise. So we'll probably give that a try. But thank you, Ashwan, for your great picks. I mean, Resident Evil Requiem. Oh my god, that would be a crazy kind of like. I know, a figure company that comes to mind is like NECA or I don't know, something, it's got to be detailed. So it's like NECA, like they kill it on the detail. So maybe. But yeah, honestly, great picks. So those were Ashwan picks. Now we move on to Zion's picks. So explain yourself on the first one.
Okay, I'll get that last because that's my favorite game of all time.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, of course.
starting in the third one with my third favorite game of all time, we have Spider-Man 2018. Now, when I was younger, I was always like a Marvel and like DC fan.
Right.
But I was mainly Marvel because like the cartoons. But those are the only things that I really like watched for Marvel. And I would every now and then like watch like one of the movies from like the pre MCU movies they'll like be on, and that had on like DVD and stuff. But I didn't really like get like into Marvel like that. I should like become like in love with it that much until I played Spider-Man. I got that for Christmas in 2018. A couple months after the game came out, I got like the PS4 bundle, and I remember being just like blown away of how like good the game was. Like once you like boot up the game, you start like swinging, and then you're like immediately into the mission to take down Kingpin, and and I just like how like the story like sets up goes from like Kingpin being taken down, and then how the New York just plummets in like crime. Like there's the Inner Demons, the Sinister Six, Sable and her crew come in, and then it's just like a good a very good Spider-Man story. And actually, this version of Spider-Man, Earth 10,048, is my favorite version of Spider-Man of all time.
Oh, whoa! That's a huge. You're giving some huge. I mean, I think I can say for all of us, we've played this game, and it is such. Yeah, exactly. It's so iconic, and I think a return of like Spider-Man games because there hadn't been like a Spider-Man game before this. Like obviously there had been older games, but like since that kind of like I think it was like Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the last Spider-Man game before this. And that was like, we're severely lacking in the like original comics or its own universe. And I think this Spider-Man game was like it brought it back and it did wonders. Like, it successfully incorporated Miles into the storyline because like Miles was an ultimate character, so this game was kind of the first kind of like thing to be like, oh yeah, we've got Miles already in this universe rather than retroactively putting him in there. And then the villains, like Scorpion, like the designs are crazy. Like you got Scorpion and like Dr. Octopus, and like the way they did the characters, like as you were saying, like yeah. And I know we have had Marvel Legends. Oh yeah.
Yeah, what this game does like good is like it incorporates like stuff from like all over media, like from the 616 Ultimate Universe. They bring in some stuff from like the movies, and not only do they do that, they make this Spider-Man its own thing. That they're not like making like an adaptation of something, or not like making the story like one-on-one with something else. Then that made this Spider-Man its own Spider-Man with its own story, its own like character development issues, and one thing I really like is how like they incorporate like the characters, like they modernize the characters in like modern day, but it doesn't take away of like who the characters are. And another thing about this game is like I read like the bios, and I have like the prequel stories from like what happened and like how he met some of these villains and like characters, and most of them have like the same backstories. just they're tweaked a bit to match modern day. And also
Right.
like how Spider-Man, this game alludes to the Marvel universe entirely. Like there's all these like different heroes that exist in the universe. You just don't see them because they're like doing something else. Some of them are a bit questionable. Like the Avengers, yeah, they're on the West Coast. They're probably fighting like Ultron or something. But we're in New York. Where is Daredevil? Where's where's like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones? Like that's the only like thing, and even then, it doesn't take away of like what of like how good the game is, because it's like a Spider-Man story with Spider-Man characters, and it just does it does nearly every Spider-Man character justice. The only characters that I would say that they were lacking is like mainly Venom from the second game, because of how much they had to cut stuff from it and how they had to like tweak that and how much he was like built up. It wasn't disappointing. It was just not on the level as like Otto was in the first game.
I do kind of like agree with that. Like they didn't fully flesh out that Venom, and also he was, if you haven't played the game, first off, what's wrong with you? Second off, Venom is not the traditional host of Venom. I'll just say it like that. If you haven't played the game, keep it safe. So it was definitely a weird kind of like choice, I'd say. But
Also
with this
going to
game,
get his own game, but didn't.
Hmm?
Oh, basically, I was going to say that he was also going to get his own game, but it never ended up happening.
Yeah.
I heard that. I thought that was. I mean,
Well,
I think it was
his voice actor died.
Yeah, Tony Todd, R.I.P. Tony Todd. Like he's a legend. Like from Destination,
He was
Candyman.
Zoom.
He was Zoom, yeah, from Flash CW, but also he was the voice for Venom in the second game. But like that game would have been fun, a Venom game. Hopefully they maybe try and like work it out, and I don't know if they'll. I think they have to do like Eddie Brock for the next if they were doing a Venom game. But yeah, we'll stick with this game. Now we did get Marvel Legends of we have got figures of this game, but so let me find those pictures. Yep, there you go. So we did get like a Marvel Legends of it. We've also got an SH Figure Arts of it. That says Far From Home. That's a bootleg. And we did back when the Gameverse stuff like was early in its stages. We did get like smaller figures of those, and they've continued on to do Gameverse figures for Spider-Man 2. With their recent wave, like I think last year maybe, which was the black suit Spider-Man, Miles in his different outfits, Spider-Man with his different outfits, and then Black Cat with, they had the Fisk and this the huge Venom. But we'll stick with this game. Did you get that initial Marvel Legends figure, or are you kind of like hoping they redo that?
For
Or you
Marvel
kind of
Legend,
like,
well, for this Spider-Man, I'm thinking I might get another version like the SH Figure Arts, and there's just other company who did the Insomniac Spider-Man, but I'm blanking on the name of it.
I think there was a ZD Toys. I think that's one of them. Let me see, ZD Toys, because I've seen that one. They've done a few of these figures. So yeah, they've done Spider-Man. I'm not sure what the scale is. It says 1/10, so kind of close to 1/12. But yeah,
I might get the Figure Arts version for the and then for if I could pick one character from like the first game, it'll be Doc Ock from that game, because we have Mr. Negative and we have Venom from like Legends, and Otto was like the main antagonist of the first game. He is like it's between this and Alfred Molina of like which one is like the better adaptation. And because they're like the two best versions of Doc Ock, and they do it in their own. Both the movie and this game do Otto in like their own like separate ways from the comics, and this version of Doc Ock had it where Peter like looked up to him. It was his mentor, the person like he wanted to be. Like in his bio, he said other kids looked up to Captain America and Iron Man, while Peter looked up to Otto. And the story of how like he worked for him, he was his employee, and he witnesses Otto's descent into madness, and how he has to take him down. It's just an amazing story.
Yeah, like definitely was. You needed the tissues for your tears, as you didn't want to fight Ock, but you had to beat him up.
And going back to the second game, they had something good going on with Harry being Venom. Like in the comics, like Norman favors Peter over Harry, which is still crazy. But so and they could have had that in the second game of how like Harry coming back and then him feeling like resentment towards like Peter, and that would have made it better than just Harry having the illness that only the symbiote could fix.
Yeah, it was obviously they teased it in that first game, and then they had to go in like they had to continue with that. Oh yeah, he's got the symbiote kind of storyline, but yeah, it was a case like, oh, I wish like his Venom, he looks amazing.
One of the best Venom designs like all time.
Oh yeah, like even like I would like Marvel Legends has done one, and it's a stellar figure. Like he's so huge, not quite like the statue, if you know, 10 inches. But like it's such a great design. It was so awesome to play him in the game in that like brief moment when you're playing as Venom and you just go on like a rampage. Like even boys, they've like absolutely done wonders for that design. But yeah, I definitely some parts of the story fall flat, but I honestly iconic design from that second game of Venom.
I also like how like they portray like the villains differently too, because in the first game the villains were just like like pure evil and they didn't have no motivation. I'm talking about like the Sinister Six, like Electro, Vulture, Scorpion, Shocker, and Rhino. They were just the normal villains. In the second game, they bring in more classic villains, but they're become like reformed. Sandman, Lizard, Mysterio. They're like want to put their past behind them. We want to become better people.
Yeah,
that's not. I just like how like Insomniac portrays the villains that Peter fought. They're not just like one dimensional. They have their own like backstories, their own like designs. That some of the designs like the best that we've seen. And and finally, I just like how Spider-Man is like the start of like other Marvel games. Like this was the Iron Man, as they call it, of like Marvel games, because like DC was killing it with video games in like in the past. They had like Batman Arkham, Injustice, the Lego games, while Marvel was like tie-in games and Lego games, but not really like anything in its own until Spider-Man came out. And then now we have an Avengers game that wasn't that good. We have a Guardians game that's very good. A sequel to Spider-Man, well, two sequels, because Miles Morales got his own game. And we have a Wolverine game coming later this year. We have Blade, which is an Xbox exclusive, coming in like a couple years. Iron Man is getting his own game. And Captain America and Black Panther are getting their own team-up game that's coming out this year. So Spider-Man's like very like revolutionary.
Yeah. No, I only do that because Wolverine is for sure, but the other ones are in kind of limbo of like if it's gonna happen. I know I don't want to be that kind of like the thing, but yeah,
Black Panther got canceled because he was gonna have his own game by EA, but then and same thing happened with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And in 1943, we had a trailer for that. We had two trailers for that game, a real trailer and a story trailer. Well, we haven't heard anything since, and that got me worried about it.
Yeah,
Blade is still early in development, so like we're not gonna hear about that until like so, and I'm not worried about that. And Iron Man, EA, they can't cancel Iron Man because they already canceled Black Panther and they already made a deal. And if they cancel Iron Man, then they're gonna be in a world of trouble.
yeah. I'm looking forward to that Captain America and Black Panther game because that looked fun. And also the Iron Man game. I mean, we want games of superheroes. Come on, give it to us. Like, if you can do Spider-Man, you got to give the other heroes a chance as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like you said, like in terms of the characters who you'd want as like figures, because we've got Spider-Man and everything. You mentioned Doc Ock, but would you also like take the the Sinister Six here, like
Yeah,
Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, and
yeah,
Shocker?
Shocker. Yeah, because we have Mr. Negative as a legend, and that's also another thing how to like incorporate like a such niche new villain like Mr. Negative and brought him into the spotlight.
Yeah, but
But
yeah,
but for
exactly.
these, oh, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, great picks like that game. Like, I mean, those characters have such unique designs. I'm surprised they haven't been given the figure form. Like,
Yeah, me too. Because like they're the they're doing Rivals, and obviously Rivals is like are like that one group of people. But Spider-Man, I think if they make these figures and actually not just make variants of costumes, actually make variants of like the other characters, more like classic characters, they're gonna sell off the shelves. Because like Kingpin and Venom, they sold way more than like the variants of like the Spider-Man suits.
yeah,
And if they, especially if they do like these characters, like Rhino in that suit, I know for a fact he's gonna sell. Shocker, I know a lot of people want Shocker with like those like that was painted lines in like more detail, and this is that Vulture. They, I know like the wings of previous Vultures haven't been that good because of how like you say that they fall out. This Vulture isn't like that. They're gonna have to do what they did with like the Falcon Cap figures from the MCU and like tweak that to make this Vulture good.
yeah.
Scorpion, they can just like Scorpion's the only one that'll be the most similar. And Electro, this is just like his own like unique comp. We never seen a version of Electro looking like that before with that whole like harness.
Yeah.
So Legends.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny and Dwight Schultz, if you're watching this, I don't know if they are. If you are,
Yeah.
please make these Sinister Six members. They will sell off the shelves.
Yeah. I mean, come on. They're easy. And look who's jumped in. Justin collects. Stay justified. He's here. Says, hey fellas. Hey, what's up? We've just done we've done Ashwan's his top 3 picks, and now Zion's doing his pick of Spider-Man. But like he wants, like, this is one of his favorite games, and we were saying we definitely need more of these villains done in figure form. Oh, another Justified member. We have Your Boy's Got Toys. He says, I'm here too, just lurking. That's cool. That's cool. And he was like, oh, sorry, I meant, hey there, my fellow young hip kids. I tweaked something in my back just typing that. Yeah. You're old, dude. You're not as hip as us. But anyway, solid pick for Spider-Man. Now, obviously, you said we're going through from Spider-Man to Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Give a little kind of like quick kind of like synopsis of what this game is. I have no clue what this is, and I don't think Ashwan, you have any experience of Life is Strange. Oh, you have a little bit.
Yeah, because it's been very relevant
in before.
Okay.
Because recently this franchise has been like very, very relevant in the past like 2 years. Because they just had a game released like last month too. But this is the first game from 2015, Life is Strange. It follows this 18-year-old girl named Max Caulfield who goes to this boarding school in Arcadia Bay. And in the beginning of the game, it's just normal, but then she witnesses her best friend who, okay, Max, she moved from Arcadia Bay years before and she moved back. So she goes to the bathroom and witnesses her best friend, which she doesn't know is her best friend at the time because they haven't reunited yet. But they witness this guy, this rich kid, them having a deal on some illegal, and he shoots her on accident, and Max witnesses it, and then that's what triggers her trauma, and that's what like triggers her like power to like time, like go back in time.
Oh.
Yeah, so she has time travel powers. She can only like go back in time, like alter things, and she uses that when she reunites with Chloe to like better help people's lives, and just and figure out like a mystery, a murder mystery of what happened to Rachel Amber, which was one of Chloe's closest friends, the girl that's looking in the mirror, Kate Marsh. Max saves her life, and the other girl, Victoria. She's one of the popular kids, so she's like an antagonist at first, but she turns into like an ally.
Okay.
But then throughout the game, Max and Chloe they were best friends previously. They reunited. They worked together to figure out the death of Rachel Amber and figure out this whole mystery of the school. And I'm blanking on the school's name for some reason. Yeah, and then some stuff happens that I can't say, or we're gonna get demonetized. that happens in this game. So all I say is, if you want to know, play the game or watch like a playthrough of it, and then you will know like the full story. But you know the butterfly effect with time travel. So and whenever like Max overextends her powers, it kind of like has like an effect on her, and you can see in the picture she starts like bleeding from her nose, and then like the like world becomes like not in the way it should be. Like there's like stuff that's like altered and like anomalies. So at the end of the game, she has a extremely tough choice to make. She can either go back in time and then stop and then not stop, but let Chloe die to like have everything be normal, or let the storm, which was that tornado, wipe out Arcadia Bay, and then let all the anomalies like happen. It's a choice based game, so it's like up to the player, and that's like one of the major decisions at the final, at like the finale of the game. And then Life is Strange is at first it was like an anthology series where like each game took you focus on like a different person with powers, and we still don't know how these individuals throughout the world gain powers. I think of it as like a Marvel mutant gene inside like only like a few people that is activated by like something traumatic happening in front of them. Like in the second game, you play these brothers Sean and Daniel has like telekinetic force powers, and he activates his powers by watching his dad get killed in front of him.
Right.
And in the third game, we play as Alex, and her powers develop before the game, like off the screen, so we don't know how she like activated her powers. But then after the third game, we came back to Max's POV, where we follow her 10 years later after the events of the first game, and then stuff happens in that game, and then the game that came out last month follows her again. So she's the only character that we've followed in multiple times, while the others is just one game.
Right. And like I think like from what I've like seen, like you said, it's kind of like, you know, those Telltale games where it's like space, like you know, like and there was like Dawn by something, you know, a horror one where it's like you choose the fate of your characters, and
Until
you know
Dawn.
yeah Until Dawn, and
Yeah.
like similar kind of like vibe. And Like I can see from like how you can do different choices. It's quite like an interesting game. Like I love those kind of games where you can't get like a specific like canon ending unless like and like next game said this actually happened. It's one of
That's
those
something
games.
too. Like even the games in the future, they ask you like what did you choose in the previous game to make
Mm,
it's like into your like experience.
yeah, so like every playthrough is so unique that you
Hmm
could wind up like doing something that you thought was good, but then later on it bites you in the ass and you're like, oh no, why did I choose that? And then you like, I think what I'm getting from this is like you can go back and be like, no, 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 I don't want to choose that. But then then you get another sort of like you said, butterfly effect sort of situation where you chose something different from your initial, and then you're like, oh, how does that affect you? So you're going through the games multiple times. Like, is that like what you were doing like through these games, like going
You're
through it
going
on it?
you're going through like specific moments like multiple times in that chapter.
Mm,
Basically, you can't rewind like whenever you want. You can like rewind when you like have to, when like the game like has you to, and you have a choice to rewind. Like you don't have
yeah.
to if you don't want in that certain steps. And when Max has the most interesting power out the three protagonist powers that we played as, because Max time travel, and in her second game, she can kind of like cross like a dimension, ti- but it's still
What?
like time. It's because like in her second game, which is technically the fourth game in the franchise, she has this character that she's friends with called Safi that dies, but
Mhm,
and her powers have been like inactive for those 10 years because she vowed to stop using them after what happened with Chloe. So
mhm.
her powers come back by witnessing her friend get murdered. Not witnessed, but she saw like her corpse like on like a
Yeah, yeah,
couple blocks away.
yeah.
And there's like a dimension where Safi's alive and where Safi isn't, so she can like go
Oh,
through like both of them, and then that's when her like time travel powers come back in the new
right,
game that came out last month, where Chloe actually returns
right.
from that timeline that Safi is alive.
Mm.
Hmm
Wow, that's that's insane.
Yeah,
Mind
no,
blown.
I know it's a lot to explain. This is just one story. The other two stories with like Sean and Alex are something too. Because Alex, I didn't mention this, but Alex has like powers where she can't read minds, but she can like read what you're feeling,
Right.
like your emotions. She can read your
Uh,
emotions,
right. And
and and it's still an anthology for like none of the protagonists actually like met each other. And
right.
if I had to choose, I wouldn't want them to meet each other, because then I would just have them make like all people with powers, and they'll like ruin the whole like uniqueness and
Mm,
of these like different games.
mm,
Really, because
yeah.
it's just about these like these people all around like all around the country have suddenly have these powers, and like they got their go throughout their lives with these powers, and figure out like what they're going to do. And some lives are better than others,
Mm,
and it's just a good a, a good ser- series of games, and I highly recommend this franchise, because Max is my favorite female protagonist of all time,
okay.
because I can relate to her very much.
Okay. That's a big that's a good great description of the game. I do want to give it a try. Um, but like also the way you've explained it, I'm like, oh, I want to go through those kind of like. And I've seen like as soon as I entered it, it was you need to put your age because blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, okay. So it's definitely like I've heard about it, and it's
Yeah,
quite
it's the first game has the most like not graphic, but like some like
troubling things.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the second game is more political, and
Okay.
True Colors, the third one, the third one is more just more close to home. I'll say more close to home.
And in terms of like this game, or like if you wanted representation in figure form, who would you like? You said Max. Was it Max or
Yeah, Max.
your favorite character?
Max. Yeah, Maxine Caulfield.
Okay. Now, would you want her in figure form, or like, and have that in like your kind of like game display, or are you kind of like like I just prefer the game version and don't want that kind of like plastic representation?
I'll have to go with the second option because Max is one of those characters in the game has like those characters where they're not like actiony or anything. Even though they have powers, there's no like actual like fights in the game. The only like
Yeah.
the only like fight you really have in any of these games is in the third game where like they do like a whole like LARPing session. But then that's really like that's only like sort of like action you have in like in these games. They're more like a choice based critical thinking and life game. No pun
Yeah.
intended.
So
So and having the action figure of it wouldn't I wouldn't really like do like anything with it like I do like my others. It would just like be there.
right.
So I would just prefer that her just be represented in the game.
Totally get that. Because you know, like you said, like sometimes a game doesn't need an action figure, and especially kind of like what you described about Life is Strange. It's kind of like you enjoy the game, and you don't want to like have a plastic version of that because it's like it doesn't fit that kind of like sort of like criteria. She's what I've seen from the pictures. It's like it's all very like it's contained in the game, and you don't want like
Grounded.
yeah, it's grounded. So it's like it doesn't. Not everything needs an action figure, exactly. But yeah, awesome second choice. Now let's get to Grand Theft Auto. Everyone knows, yeah, everyone knows Grand Theft Auto, but this is Grand Theft Auto 4. So the one before the new one, and before 6, which who knows that if that game will come out. That's always kind of like a topic of like I don't know, but with Grand Theft Auto 4,
Okay.
the main character, is
backstory time.
Main character Nico Bellic, and then obviously these two are kind of like the DLCs. But yeah, I go through why, like a little synopsis, and then like why you like love, like this is your like favorite.
So GTA 4 follows, like you said, Nico Bellic, who's an Eastern European who goes to Liberty City, which is a parody on New York City, because of his cousin Roman. Basically lied to him and said like he's living the American dream. He has like money, women, a mansion, and everything. And he comes to Liberty City to live with his cousin, and then he finds out that he's living in a like studio apartment on the edge of Broker. Well, Broker is Brooklyn, parody Brooklyn. Like I'm so used to saying like the parody names, like the cities and like the companies. But yeah, and then Roman isn't a little trouble with like some of the mafia, like the Russian mafia, the Italian mafia, and all that. And he gets Nico involved because Nico always has to save him, like in the that beginning first phase of the game, and then they have to like hide out after they torch his apartment in Broker. They have to go to Bohan, which is a parody of the Bronx, and that's when like Nico really starts to like come up in like these like criminal underworlds where he gets like recruited in like these different families, and then that's when he starts to come up where like that American dream that Roman was talking about starts to become a reality. And a lot of stuff happens through the game. A lot of like betrayals, um, some love interests in there, a bunch of action, a bunch of missions. And it's just uh, it's very GTA coded. And at the end of the game, there's this like
I mean, how can you explain GTA? Let's make something up.
yeah, a lot of stuff happens, and then it all comes to the end of the game where we gotta defeat the main villain. And there's two endings to this game: one where Roman dies, and one where Nico's girl, Kate, dies. So you can like pick which either one you want to do, and then that's when the ending happens. Now, unlike Life is Strange, GTA has like canon endings. GTA 4 and GTA 5, them two have like canon endings. The canon ending is where Roman is alive and Kate dies.
Yeah.
And this game is like super successful. That it spawned like two. What's a Rockstar game? All Rockstar games are like successful. and then this game spawned two DLCs. The first one was like Lost and Damned, but they already called a biker game. Johnny Klebitz, that's the vice president of the biker game, the Lost. And the second DLC, the Ballad of Gay Tony, where we follow Luis Lopez, a bodyguard and who works at a nightclub. And one thing that I like about these three stories is that they're all happening at the same time, but they feel like their own stories. Like they crossed over, but they can stand on their own. It's like own games and own stories. And I like how they portray like Liberty City in like three different ways. Like Nico's that like newcomer who's in like the crime business. Johnny is like a biker gang with like the biker rivalries, and Luis represents the nightlife of Liberty City, the nightclubs and all that. And GTA 4, I would say, is my personal favorite, and everybody has their own favorite GTA because like all of them, all the main ones are like very good. But when I talk about the best, this one I'll say is up there, and to me, it is the best one.
Fair enough. I mean, I grew up with Nico Bellic as like that was my GTA 4, and he was the G. Like that was the guy who played. I loved playing through it and like doing all the cheat codes to, do all the sort of like nonsense in the game. I mean, like one of the cases is like here. You could just like obviously the whole thing of Grand Theft Auto is just chaos, and you can explode cars, steal cars, and all that stuff. Obviously, it's a game, so it's a game.
Yeah, and this was in that wave of that those like first like video games that I ever played. Like when I know it's gonna sound a little crazy, but I was like 4 years old.
Oh my god,
playing these games. But my mom and my stepdad, they let me play this because like they knew, well, I knew that to like never like imitate stuff that I see on like TV and movies and like video games. So they let me like play these games like GTA, Mafia, COD, and like because like they knew that I knew better. Unlike these other people. Unlike you hear stories about people like, imitating stuff they see. That was never me. Okay. So yeah. And I still have the original copy of GTA 4 that I got all the way back in 2012.
Oh wow!
On the PS3.
Let's see that. Oh baby, that's proper. I wouldn't say vintage because we're Gen Z. We're so young. We're youth. I mean, I could say when I played that, and I was like, yeah, let's get on through. I mean, I was definitely like, let me see, when did GTA
2008. April 29th, 2008.
I think
so
I
a month after 2 months after I was born, technically.
I think like I was 8 when that came out, and I saw my brother play it, and I was like, "Oh, I want to play," but like, my parents were like, "No, you can't play this game," but somehow we did.
Mhm.
um, but Just Dust and Collects here was like, I never finished a single GTA game. Always just end up driving around, causing as much damage as possible. I mean, everyone does that. I mean, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
You even got the complete edition.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was able to play
Yeah.
this game, play 4 again because it
Yeah.
came with the 2 DLCs, and then 5 came out, and I remember and 5. It's like even though I like 4 better, I have like a better memory with 5 because I remember going to like the GameStop in the mall that has now closed down. Rest in peace.
Mm,
And my grandma bought it for me
mm.
like a week after it came out. And sadly, I don't have that copy of GTA 5 no more on the PS3.
Oh,
But GTA 5
mm.
it's still a very good game, even though I'm tired of it
Yeah.
from it. And I still play it all the time to time. And something about the GTA universe as a whole, it's like it's such a parody of real life, and it's so like as realistic as it can get, and
Mm,
it's like a changer. Like all these like parody companies, parody cities, and like a lot of like, and I'm someone who likes to like analyze like stuff like that I mentioned, like movies and games and like, TV shows, and bring like analytic. And GTA has like a lot of like stuff that for like eagle-eyed fans that I care about that like the average player won't.
mm,
Like how an example is like one of the radios in the game, they have a whole news segment like called Weasel News. It's a parody of Fox News, and while driving around in between songs and in between like commercials, they would have like the in-game news play, and they actually like talk about like the stuff that you did in the game, plus like the weather and plus like other stuff that happened off screen that you will never see like uh the 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 mayor being elected or like the new street being built or like a new company being opened.
mm.
But it's just stuff you hear like that makes the game feel more alive.
Mm. Yeah.
And there's like this whole like not section, but there's like this whole like compilation like Weasel News from like both 4 and 5 on like YouTube. It's like hours long, and so sometimes I just like put it in the background, so just like listen to it because of how like they didn't have to do all this.
Yeah.
For example,
They
they didn't
just.
have to do. They just did it to make the game feel more alive,
Mm,
and that's something I can't wait for GTA 6 too. It's like how it's like what else are they gonna do, and like how are they gonna push the boundaries.
yeah.
Yeah, and lastly about this section of the game, it's just they also have in-game TV shows, in-game commercials, and I remember
Mm,
always watching like the show called Republican Space Rangers. This like cartoon in game, and they have a new episode like every time a new game comes out, and even in the DLCs they have like new episodes. So like right now it's like 4 episodes, and when GTA 6 comes out, hopefully they have the new episode of that game.
yeah.
Of that cartoon.
Yeah. Honestly, crazy pick, but I do get the like interest because like my god, GTA 4 so fun, and like
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I want to ask is like, would you want an action figure of Nico Bellic or like the other two?
Yeah.
Like obviously not, because this is more his like wildlife, but like
Yeah.
this book, obviously the iconic, and
His
like
iconic fit. Okay, a
yeah,
little backstory too, not backstory, but like a little. In fact, Rockstar for the anniversary of GTA 3, they did like a 1/6 scale of the protagonist from that game, Claude.
mm,
So if they ever made a figure of Nico who wanted in that same version where they did Claude versus like 1/6 scale, cloth clothes and his like most iconic accessories from the game.
Right. Yeah. So far, there's not been any figures. There's a lot of customs. Apparently, there was a Kubrick. Kubrick. Weird. No, but a lot of people have done customs, but also like look at this. Like you kind of want this kind of vibe of like Nico Bellic, like 1/12 cloth goods. Oh no, not 1/12, 1/6.
But 1/6.
Yeah.
Like look up GTA 3 10th anniversary. What GTA 3 Claude 10th
This one.
anniversary. Yeah, that one.
Let's see. Here we go.
They did like Rockstar did like this for like that 10th anniversary of that game. So if they made a figure, I want them to do it for GTA 4 in this same way they did for this version.
Right, and you can even like with this, you can get his prison outfit, and like obviously, like that's pretty. Oh, I don't know what that is. That's like crazy, and like you can recreate the looks. Yeah, I can see that. I would love 1/12. I don't do 1/6, but I think because you said like this one, like it would fit well with this, and you can slowly, because I know they've done like 1/6 scale GTA 5 figures of like Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. I've seen those, but like I think that would be sick. Like if you get all of them together, you have like all the GTA and like characters. So here's like was like CC Toys Trevor, and like here's all of them together. Like imagine doing a Nico Bellic in that sort of thing, and this one together, and then who knows they
and they can make Tommy and CJ, and they get like all the protagonists from like the mainline games. Because even though like 3 Vice City and San Andreas are in their own 3D universe, while 4, 5, and 6 are in their own universe.
Right.
So even though they're kind of like two separate universes, just to have like all like the protagonists together in a display like to represent GTA, that would be like something that a lot of like fans will be happy about and what.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's such a like it's so weird to like request like figures of it, but you just want them because they're so iconic and you play as them. It's such a fun time, and you want. I get the need to have the kind of like representation because it's fun. They're fun characters, and honestly, yeah, I mean, such a great pick as your 3 picks in general. All different. Like you've got your comic book / like the comic book kind of like side coming in with Spider-Man, and you got Life is Strange, which is a completely different kind of style of game. And like you said, you didn't want an action figure of it because it doesn't, the game, like sometimes a game doesn't have that, like it doesn't need that. And then you got Grand Theft Auto, which is like pure chaos. But
you got the chaos, you got the calm, and you got the comic.
Exactly. But yeah, love these picks, and obviously love the picks that you had, Ashwan, with the 3 games you had, which were like you got Resident Evil horror, and then you got Grounded 2, which is like a survival, but it's so unique, and then you have Minecraft, which is just iconic in its own ways. Obviously, it's so popular. Like, I mean, it's popular back in the day, but even now, it's like even more popular. But like, obviously, you don't want a Jack Black figure. But, yeah, great picks, both of you, and we'll end up here on my picks. So feel free to ask these questions, but I'll go off from Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So similar to like kind of like how we all are like we collect Marvel Legends, and Marvel heroes are quite like near and dear to our heart, and that stuff. For me, Marvel Ultimate Alliance was such an iconic game because it was the first kind of game. Obviously, it's a spin-off kind of X-Men Legends, which was like I'll show like an image of like how these games were so unique because um, it's a game where you play in a group of 4 characters, and you can have couch co-op with your friends or whoever, or even do ultimate like online play. But one of the things about this game was that the roster was so huge, and you could just like pick whoever you wanted. Like there was no kind of limitation. There was kind of just like you could pick whoever you wanted, and you could play that. Like there was no like here is let me show you this screenshot because like it's such a wild thing to think about like how we don't have that in current games, but this is what they did back in the day. Although that picture's fake. Um, like that Black Widow was not in the game playable, and also Ronin there, but you get the idea. Like a full roster of heroes, and none of them were MCU fired. This was like at a time of like there was none of that. Like, of course, Blade, was similar looking to like Wesley Snipes in terms of like like the outfit, but then again, it wasn't like kind of like making that the more importance. And I think it's such a different time zone. Like, yes, we did have the Fox games, and you can see from like the picture here, like you can tell they're kind of going off like, oh, Spider-Man, similar to Toby. You got Blade, similar to like the Wesley Snipes films. You got Elektra. Let's not forget about Elektra's movie. Ugh. Ghost Rider, Marine. But like the fact that in this game you could select anyone. Like select this kind of roster. You can make the Fantastic Four. You can make the X-Men. You can make the like a whole like there were whole different like lineups like Avengers, classic Avengers, modern Avengers, uh mystical characters. Like this was the first game that had Moon Knight. I mean, look at Moon Knight in all his past glory. To like this is obviously pre Marvel Rivals. Now we're like, oh cool, we got these characters, but like this is such a different era. And you had Hulk, Nightcrawler, all sorts of characters, and you pick 4, and you can even just make your own team. And I think that was one of the loves of this game, and kind of why like my display let me see if I can get up there. Like I've kind of wanted to recreate this. So in terms of like asking a question of like if I want figures, I've kind of done it here. Let's see. I hope I don't drop my laptop. I've kind of done it here. Kinda. Like I've got the kind of like character select, but like with caveats of like characters who appeared in the game. But and obviously I have like Galactus here. From the game because he is one of the like the bosses in the game. Let me just zoom out. There you go. But yeah, it's such a great game, and like some of these character looks are very ultimate based. So I'd want that. So come on, Marvel, give us some of these looks like the Thor. We need this kind of like Ghost Rider, because like we haven't got kind of like this leather jacket with the kind of like lead. It's almost like Nick Cage look for Ghost Rider. But yeah, and also like civilian. This is the civilian Logan I'm looking for. I hope Marvel Legends does it. I know they probably won't, but I'm just like, just say it. It's a civilian. It's a civilian. And also, this game had like Nick Fury as a playable character. You wouldn't like guess that. Um, um, and like Silver Surfer was there, Doctor Strange, and now like you kind of expect it, or you kind of want like from Marvel Rivals, you have that. But yeah, this was the first game, and it's so great. Like Alexi said, Ultimate Alliance 1 was epic. 2 was just very Civil War based. Like it was based off the story of Civil War, so it's like, eh. still remember getting Deadpool out of the in-game. Yeah, such an iconic game, and like the fact that you went to different places in the story, like you went to, Asgard, and you also went to um, Latveria, and also you could just hang out in the Sanctum Sanctorum with all the characters just chilling, Iceman on the couch. Just the fun of the game. You don't see it in these modern games, and I think that was why I wanted to pick that as like my third choice. And we've kind of got figures of it in Marvel Legends form, but we definitely need more of like the kind of looks that they had in that game. And again, this game didn't have like the DLC kind of structure that we have in current games, although it did have a DLC pack of like heroes and villains, but it wasn't as egregious of like now we have to pay for skins like costumes in like Marvel Rivals, you have to pay. Whereas in this game, you unlocked it by the grind of playing, not like, and you had comic missions as well where you played the origin of that character by yourself. Like you play as Deadpool doing his mission, and he goes like, "I was bitten by a radioactive rabbit," and then all of a sudden, blah blah blah, and it's like he's just like goofing. He's like, "Nah, that's not my, that's not my like origin story." But yeah, yes, Alexi says like they tried to recreate the vibe of Marvel, like with Marvel Avengers, but designed it as a live service, and it bombed. Yeah, that is one of the things. Like, like it's such a weird choice, and I would love for this kind of game to come back. There is hope that we might get a remaster of those like iconic games, like Activision's, like Marvel games. So like one of them is like Edge of Time and blah. But anyway, this is one of like, my choices. Then we move swiftly to one of the things I love to talk about is Mortal Kombat. And I picked specifically, I mean, Mortal Kombat is such an iconic franchise that I think I'd want any action figures from it. And hence why, like, I'm getting the McFarlane stuff, even though everyone's like, oh, it's so shit. It's so shit. Like, I'm like, I get it, but like, it's like how Dan said on, he was like saying, it's like, you're okay with it. Like you understand this is what's there. So you're coping with it. But which I'm like, you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. But the game I really wanted to talk about was the iconic game of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Now, this game, look at that beautiful roster. This game had every character, like from, because this is an old game, so a lot of my choices are very old games that haven't received that kind of remaster love that every other game is getting. But my god, this game Armageddon, not only you could play as every character from the normals of like Sub-Zero and Scorpion to weird ass characters like Meat, just Meat, who is just a man who is just flesh. Here we go. Here's Meat. It's a flesh man. And that's the fun thing about Mortal Kombat. It's so wacky that you could be a cool, ninja character like Scorpion, but you could also fight as Meat. But like that's why like I love this game. Like you could just play as everyone, and I would love for action figures of these designs, because it was like I love Mortal Kombat, but like I love the newer stuff. But my gosh, the fun designs that they had in these prior games. But yeah, I love this. Alexi is like, Mayfix would kill this line over 100-year period. Yes, like I want someone to just do these like designs justice. So that's why I picked like Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and it's one of the games like it still kind of stands, although my experience of it was on the Wii. So it's definitely a weird kind of like experience to it. Like the Nintendo Wii for all Mortal Kombat games. It's like, yeah, I could do a fatality by swinging around the Wii controller up and being like, I took his arm off. And that was one of the fun things about that game, is like you did your own fatality by just doing different like movements. So you'd be like, "Ugh," and you've taken off his arm or something like that. And like they haven't brought that into the newer games. And one of the things they haven't also brought is you could create your own character, which has not been brought in the further games. So it's just like, oh, what the hell? But anyway, Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I would love action figures of this, but this is one of my it's my second favorite game of all time. Now the next one is another fighting game. So you you can see I adore fighting games. They're just like they're fun, they're just fun to play. And this one specifically is Soul Calibur 4. And it's a game from like it's still of like the Xbox 360 time, but one of the things is that this game had the, I don't know to say, honor or weird sort of case that they included Star Wars characters. So they had, you could play as Yoda, Darth Vader, and Starkiller in this game, and it's like you play as them as fighters, and you can do customization. Although for these characters it was limited, but it's a 3D like 3D type game where you can move around the map. So it's 3 dimensional. I know 3D like in graphics. Oh my god, I did a zoom in for that. um, but like seriously, like the game is so fun. Like it's a kind of like, you know, mythical slash just like fighting with swords and weapons and that stuff. So like one of the things is like everyone's got a different style, and you can create your own character as well. So you had characters like Ivy, who has this like sword whip weapon, and Talem, who had these like tonfas, and then, you know, had like Taki, who's just and like a ninja character, but you know, the designs were very let's just say of its time. Yeah, but like, yeah, Yoda's on the cover, or like if you got the other cover for PlayStation, yeah, Darth Vader. But one of the things is like why like it's such a great game for me is like you just fight characters, and like the lore is so dense. Like it's had different games, and they've had like guest fighters. Like they did the whole guest fighters before everyone. Um, and like I said, Darth Vader and Yoda in this game, and then a previous one you had Heihachi and Spawn, and it was like, wait, what? What? This was like the peak moment of like video games, of like fighting games having guest characters and everything, and I was just like, this is such a great time to be there playing that kind of stuff, and it was just so good. Like one of like here the characters, like I put Siegfried and Nightmare, like they're both like characters with big ass swords, and in their like lore, Siegfried, who's the guy with like the white sword and ice armor, he used to be this guy called Nightmare with the like kind of like knight armor. So like the whole game's about swords, and these two swords are like, one is the white sword or ice sword is called Soul Calibur, so it's like of the name of the game, and the other one is called Soul Edge, so it's like yin and yang sort of situation. And one is good and one is bad, but it's not even that case. But it's just like, you know, battle between good and evil. But you also had characters like, you know, a ninja. You had a character who had this big scythe who was like a time traveler, or you know, or you had Ivy who was just fan service. But like you had samurais as well. Like this game had every kind of like character you could play as, and it just didn't like stop. Like the although I say it didn't stop, but the game has unfortunately kind of like, the last game was a few years ago, and it's kind of like died down. But even then, that game had Geralt Geralt of Rivia, and then from Witcher. 5 had Ezio. We were talking about Ezio. There you go. So like 6 was the latest one, and look on the cover, Geralt, not Henry Cavill, Cabal, Cable, whatever nonsense name Dan can't pronounce. But yeah, like it's such a fun game, and I would love figures of the main characters because they're just like characters with weapons. But yeah, that is my pick for my 3 favorite games. You got Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and then Ultimate Alliance. And yeah, Alexi, oh yeah, I remember that. I think I played this in college. Yeah, old game. And then like I used Spawn on the Xbox version. Yeah, yeah. It was a whole thing. Like even Nintendo for the Soul Calibur 3 game, you could play as Link and fight all these like nonsense characters as Link, and you just be like, "Yep, I'm playing as Link," and he's like all in his like 3D era look, so not like realistic, but kid form. So I think I can get that picture. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like, let me show that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, you could play as Link in this fighting game. You could play as Spawn in the third one, which was like his first game. Well, not first game, but like a big kind of way, because you could like have you played it with him with the axe kind of situation. And then one of the things was Heihachi from Tekken, so another fighting game, and they had him as a playable character. And yeah, like such a fun game, and yeah, honestly, it's so weird to explain, but yeah, I'd love action figures of those. I think I've mentioned it multiple streams of like, oh, that'd be sick. A character with a different weapon. Each figure has a different weapon. It screams a toy line for anyone to do, like Jada or someone. Please, Jada, give us Soul Calibur figures. Come on. But yeah, anyway, this was the kind of like that was my picks. So to go back, these were like I'm not sure if these are the right orders, but we just like final picks. We could change it, but my favorite was Soul Calibur, Zion. You had GTA 4, and then Ashwan. Would you say was it Resident Evil, or would you change it to Grounded 2? Because I think
No, I'd give it to Resident Evil.
there we go. So yeah, these were the final picks, our final kind of like top games. But every game is loved. We can't dash it, even if it's even if it's the Avengers game. Someone loves it. But yeah, I know that's such a loaded question, loaded line. But anyway, that was our top 3 favorite games of all time. So as we hit that 3-hour mark, 3 hours and 13 minutes, we'll have to say goodbye. But where can the lovely people see you, or where can the lovely people find you? We'll start. Zion, where can the lovely people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at dgenerosity, don't forget underscore, and here every week on Gen Z Report.
Nice. And Ashwan, where can the lovely people find you?
Ashwan231 on Instagram, Ashwan231 Comics on YouTube. Here every week on Gen Z Report, every 2 weeks on Legends and Liquor, Group 2, best group. And Thursdays occasionally on the extra show, maybe an unboxing stream every week or every other week that Legends and Liquor isn't happening, if Dan does one. But anyways, yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. And we've put our links in the description below. So if you want to follow us on our respective platforms, you could do that. For me, you can obviously find me here on the Gen Z Report with my lovely co-hosts. You can also find me on my channel. I promise to do more like single videos of like topics, maybe Street Fighter. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, you can find me there on Zman12bat /Agent Zman, and of course on Instagram, Agent_Zman, and same case, pretend like maybe Legends of Liquor. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that is us. We are the Gen Z Report, and this is us signing off. Take care, everyone. Bye.
The Gen Z Report, your weekly dose of awesome.
Toys and comics.
Covering all the topics. Week in, week out. That's what it's all about.
The only source you need.
The Gen Z Report.